rid of this shit. Thank you.
I don't know the gospel. I don't know the record of Jesus Christ that you believed on.
Does that matter?
Sure, it absolutely matters. The record of Christ absolutely matters.
No,
the record of Christ absolutely matters.
No.
Hey, Mr. Mudd. Good to see you. Well, it ain't fucking great, you know. Pretty ticked off. Just disappointed in humanity as usual.
Isn't the only event the death, burial, resurrection? Isn't that the only real record that's important?
No, it's if you think that the good news only is that Jesus.
That was a video. Can you hear it? Good to see you, though. Thanks for coming by.
Just died, was buried, and rose. You missed the other side of the coin.
You're saying I need to know that he healed people and gave.
I didn't say that. Life. Why the fuck are you putting words in my mouth, motherfucker? Why are you putting fucking words in my mouth?
That's not.
Don't fucking do that to me.
That's not very.
Don't fucking do.
Good morning, Daniel Berry Sports Highlights. He reminds me of the chick from the Walmart video right there. I'm trying to help you, motherfucker.
That to me?
Don't turn into Bruce.
Don't you fucking do that to me.
No, listen,
that you got to be healed and all this shit. Fuck yourself.
No, that's not.
Don't ask me shit. You just put fucking a whole lot of word salad in my mouth, and I don't fucking appreciate that.
Is this the Holy Spirit talking?
I didn't do that to you. Fuck you and your Holy Spirit. I don't know what Holy Spirit you have.
Is that blasphemy? Let's not do blasphemy.
Fuck you and your bullshit. That ain't blasphemy to tell you to go fuck yourself, William.
Yeah. It's very charming, dude.
Go fuck yourself. Very charming. Don't put words in my mouth. I knock your fucking teeth out for that.
Wow, listen at you.
Listen to you. You gonna tell me how to be a Christian?
No,
you fucking goat bastard. In here fucking stirring people up like a cunt.
Wow, that escalated quickly.
Yeah. Go fuck yourself.
So what I said, you said I needed to know the record of...
I didn't say anything to you, and I'm not saying another fucking word to you because you're useless.
Let's test that.
Anybody who puts words in my mouth, the conversation's over. Talk to yourself, William, you dick.
All right, I'm going to talk to myself. Okay.
You got other people here. Talk to them.
Okay. All right, Ace.
Yeah.
How you doing today?
Fucking retard.
Okay, I thought you were done talking to me.
Not as far as calling you a fucking retard. That's on the table at all times.
Oh, he just needs some milk.
Yeah, I don't need your kind of satanic fucking love.
Okay, so you said I needed to know the record of Jesus Christ. That's what he said. I'm sorry, that's what dude said, that I needed to know the full record of Jesus Christ. And I don't know.
Looks like it's working.
I needed to know the record of Jesus Christ. That's what he said. I'm sorry, that's what dude said, that I needed to know the full record.
When you're craving a vintage evening, any evening, Pilsner, IPA, or Stout without...
Adding as YouTube takes a brutal... Well, 30% cut. If you super chat 100.
Good morning, Mikey.
YouTube takes 30. If you donate 100, Streamlabs only takes 3. Streamlabs.com/whatever. Link for that is in the description. We do prioritize messages that are made via Streamlabs. $10 and up will be displayed. $100 and up will be read/answered. If you want to interact nearly instantly with us and weigh in on the conversation, consider sending a TTS, text-to-speech message. We're going to be trying something a little different this show. The first 30 minutes of the stream, the TTS is set to $69 TTS. For the first 30 minutes, then it goes up to $200 and up will trigger TTS after the first 30 minutes. TTS is via stream. We're going to have the guests introduce themselves. So, are you single, talking stage, situationship, friends with benefits, relationship? Wait, I already said that. Maybe. Married, polycule, sex cult, part of a harem, whatever it may be. If you're single, how long have you been single? And what's the longest relationship you've ever been in? Starting with you, go ahead.
I'm single, I guess.
I guess.
Yeah.
Okay.
She's not sure.
My longest relationship was like 2 years.
How long have you been single, you guess?
Like 8 months? 8 months, I think?
8 months.
I don't know.
And when you say single, you guess, is it complicated, kind of? It's currently complicated?
Sure.
There's a prospect in the picture? Or
Who knows?
who knows? Well, we'd like to know. Is it currently complicated with the guy you broke up with 8 months ago?
Yeah.
Okay, so you're like in a situationship, kind of?
Sorta.
Is it on again, off again?
Not really. I don't know. I'm just not looking for anybody, really.
But so you're still like talking to the guy that you used to date?
Yeah, he's like my best friend, too, though. Like,
He's your best
we're
friend?
just really close, so.
When's the last time you guys hung out?
Last week.
Last week?
Mhm.
You said you're from Santa Barbara, right?
No, I'm from the Bay Area.
Oh, you're from the Bay. Okay. And is this like kind of a long distance thing, or does he also live here?
He goes to Cal Poly.
Okay, slow. Okay. So you'll go there, or he comes here?
Not like to see each other, though, just like when I visit. Because there was like that music festival. Was it last weekend? Yeah. Shebang. That was,
Shebang?
Yeah, I went to
Okay.
that, so.
Was that in slow?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was super fun.
Okay. So were you guys? So was this a 2-year relationship?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Or like almost 2 years.
Almost 2 years, but then it ended. You've been single for 8 months.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, I'm rolling a cigarette. Women with issues nowadays? Yeah, that's for sure.
So for the duration of the 2-year relationship, was it committed, monogamous, or was it
Committed, yeah.
okay, exclusive?
Yeah.
Boyfriend, girlfriend.
Yeah.
Okay, there was a title, and so you see him like every weekend or something, or
No, just like if I'm going there, or if he has friends here too, so
who ended the relationship?
him.
He ended it.
Yeah. Because
Okay.
there's like distance. There's a lot of things.
Okay, so is he currently dating somebody else?
No,
Not to your knowledge.
not to my knowledge. No.
Okay, but he is kind of dating you.
Not really though.
Well, you guys are hanging out, right?
Yeah.
Are you guys still getting frisky?
That's the way to put it. Sure. Yeah.
Okay. Wait, so I mean, but you said you've been single for 8 months, but the guy you were dating for 2 years, you guys are still like hooking up. Kind of doesn't sound like you're totally single.
I mean, sure. I guess.
Like, would you go if some guy who you thought was like really cool, really attractive, if he asked you out, would you, or would you say no because you're kind of involved with this current guy?
Like ask me out.
Like some guy was interested in you, a different guy.
This is highly
Would you tell him?
confusing because I thought the whole premise of this was that they were supposed to be single girls or whatever on this one, but I don't know. What's up, Lemon Pie? Good to see you. Hey, spooky bed hair. Oop. Oh, but what's up? What's up? So I guess I'm no longer ghosted. Now I'm a creepy stalker. as I learned last night. You know, it's fine. It's all right. This is the way people act nowadays. Young women like this, you know. They don't, you know, talk about things or tell people to fuck off. You know, they ghost, and then they, you know, they're like, so.
No, because you're kind of involved with this guy, or would you say, oh, I'm single, yeah, I can date you?
I guess I'm just not really looking for like anything. Like I wouldn't really.
Who said that? My apparently former friend. Yeah, who ghosted me like a couple months ago until last night, and then decided to, you know, big cat in the house. What's up, Todd? Yeah, it was like, okay. And I'm glad, you know, I finally got the response. Because that's all I was asking for, you know. But, you know, sometimes you don't get the response you want. And there's still, like, you know, no closure involved in it. And we're going to find out why, you know, what the fuck, you know. It's because it's easier for people to divest emotionally, I guess, than to, you know, actually maintain any, you know, type of real, you know, like friendships or, I don't know.
No, necessarily, but like as I said, I'm not even like. I'm just kind of focusing on myself, I guess.
Well, would you say no because you're currently semi-involved with?
I don't know if that's the reason I would say no. I think it would be more just because I'm not like wanting. I'm also like transferring in the fall, so it's like.
Okay. Wait, so you said he broke up with you?
Mm-hmm.
You're going through exactly the same thing? Oh, really? Wow. Did not know that. Sorry.
And you said the reason was just like the distance or whatever?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Because I went to SDSU, and so that's like a much longer distance. So.
Okay. So is it kind of like SDSU, nothing, Santa Barbara, friends with benefits, and if you were closer to SLO, that would get you the title?
What do you mean?
Well, because SDSU was like full on breakup. Now that you've come to Santa Barbara,
That was,
you're 3 hours closer or so.
No, it was after. So I left SDSU,
Okay.
and then it was after that.
Okay. All right.
It's complicated.
So you would consider, is it a situationship? How would you categorize your current thing?
Sure, yeah, I guess that's whatever.
Okay. And you're fine with that? You don't mind that?
Sure.
Would you be okay if he was like dating or sleeping with other women?
I mean, obviously not dating, because dating, that means you're like just with one person.
What's up, Cyrax? Good to see you. Oh, you told F off tonight? Uh-oh. I missed that. Like, how was it? Your teal supposed to seem brainless. Yeah, it's the, you know, I've heard they, Oh, we're Wooly. Good to see you. Good morning. Yeah, I've heard they kind of intentionally pick certain women like this. I don't know. They get girls from Instagram and stuff like that. So this guy, can't remember his fucking name right now. He goes out and like he's been accused of basically selecting, you know, the most. He's been accused of selecting these girls for you know certain characteristics, and it's just like with Wilson, I don't even understand why. No, these aren't the OnlyFans girls. These are all college girls. I don't know. He changed the title, but the original title was College Girls, I think. If it's the right one. And then he just yeah.
Well, let's say he's just like casually hooking.
He's not that type of person.
Well, you
So
guys are
I
both
would-
single by your definition,
Yeah,
right?
but I'm not into like hookup culture, and anybody I tend to date isn't either. So like, if he was, that
Why
would
isn't
be
he? Well,
something. But
well, why? I mean, if that's the case, if he's not into it, you're not into it. Why avoid having a title?
I don't know if that's. I don't know. It's complicated. As I said.
Well, would you no longer want to see him if he was, say, casually hooking up with another girl?
Not necessarily.
Okay.
Not like I don't know if I mean it's his life. We're not.
Is he in a
dating.
fraternity?
Yes.
Are you in a sorority?
No.
He's in a fraternity.
Yeah.
A couple girls here seem like they had a reaction to that. SLO, it's a
Frat
couple of
boys.
SLO. Do they have a decent party scene there or not so much? At least compared to UCSB.
Oh, nothing compared
Not,
to
well, sure,
UCSB.
not compared to UCSB, but
I don't know. Every time I've gone there, it's always like, it's not that good. It's also like the cops are really, they'll shut down a party in like 30 minutes, like
Okay.
quickly. So
he's in a frat. You guys don't have a title.
we met in high school. So it was before he was in fraternity.
Jeez. So University of Santa Barbara. Xanax? Yeah, he said he hates these chicks. I can tell he's a weirdo.
Sure. Okay. Oh, so you guys went to high school together, or you?
For the last senior year of high school, yes.
Okay. I want to ask the ladies at the table. Do you think? Be honest. Do you think the guy is maybe seeing other ladies? What do you guys think?
I think he might be, but I don't know. To me, at least, it sounds like he has you on a leash a little bit.
Does he?
That's just what it sounds like. To
But
me.
it sounds like you guys have like a close friendship.
Yeah.
I think if there's not a label on it, he's in a fraternity.
I feel like that's enough.
Yeah.
I think it's enough.
But she's saying she doesn't really care like that much if he's like she just want to have a friendship.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
The friendship.
Yeah.
Wait, I'm curious. So you guys, he dumped you 8 months ago.
Sort of.
What do you mean, sort of?
I mean, yeah, but I feel like dumped is not the word
Oh,
to
okay.
use
Well, okay. Well, so how
necessarily.
did it go then?
I don't know.
Did he text you or call you, or was this in person?
No, it was in person.
Yeah. Dumped her. She's in denial. It's like, yeah, I want to screw around with other chicks.
And he sat you down. He was like, was there a handhold? Did he
No.
go for handhold? Okay, I'm just kidding.
No.
Just kidding. Okay, so okay.
Do you go for handholds when
No.
you do something like that? Is that your thing?
I don't even want to do that shit in person, to be honest.
Oh,
we've been
interesting.
dating for 2 years.
So he will threaten the girls if they don't follow the rules. They leave early. They don't get dropped in the description. Wow. Andrew Wilson is clothed version of the girls that go wild. Brian, is that his name?
Via text.
Damn, not even a
I'll give you
call.
text.
Not even a call.
Are you proud of that?
Super. Well, okay, no, hold on. Maybe 2 years. Maybe I'll consider doing it in person. Usually I just, I'll just wait until they break up with me. That's better. But I prefer that they just send me a text.
You prefer being broken up with?
If I've been dating a girl for like 2 years, yeah, just text me.
Have
Like,
you ever
send
done
it.
the breaking up with?
You got to speak into the microphone.
Have you ever done the breaking up with?
Yeah, I've ended things. Why'd you? She does this. Like, oh, you'd never break up with a girl. Yeah, I've broken up with girls.
Like just over text or?
I mean, look, I've done it in person too, but
And you prefer the texting? It's easier.
I'd rather a girl just break up with me over text, to be honest.
It's much easier to like be broken up with than like breaking up with a person.
But then I feel like you get back together when it's over text.
Well, I feel like there's a lot more emotional labor that goes into breaking up with
Brian's
someone,
breakup
and then it would be a lot
methods.
easier for you to just like be an asshole until she finally gives up, and then just text you and you're like, oh, it's done now.
You're on to something. You're on to something. Okay, so last.
Like that sounds a little bit, cowardly, but I'm not saying that you're a coward. I'm just saying that I think that maybe you could communicate or something.
I mean, I'm being a bit flippant, but yeah, no. If I've decided that I no longer want to see somebody, I'm not gonna like intentionally be a dickhead. So they do it. So they do the breakup, but I actually don't mind. If a girl wants to break up with me, you can just text me. It's okay. Like, oh, you want to meet in person?
I would
don't
never break up with somebody over text. Like if it was avoidable. Like if it's not avoidable, then okay. But then you can still like at least call them. I don't know. It just seems like. I mean, maybe if it was like, yeah, if you've been dating them for any period of time, yeah, that's just. So that's the type of shit I'm talking about. We're like, oh, we could just text this out. I'm like, okay, like. Yes, call girls, porn stars, Insta, OnlyFans, anyone, yeah. Yeah, I think when they did the OnlyFans girls, though, that was like a special, because this is supposed to be all college girls. I don't know if they're on OnlyFans or not. Top of the morning, Math Big, good to see you. Yeah, they actually exist out there, that's true.
Closure talk, really. I don't like the closure talk.
Do you have like a ready like paragraph in your notes app to break up with people, like a little paragraph?
Copy
and paste every time?
Yeah. I have like ChatGPT. Like I ask it to draft up like a breakup text for me and just
Send it every time. Just email. Don't even text anymore.
Exactly. Wait, so does anybody else here think any thoughts on her guy situation? Is I think he's.
What's so significant about your friendship, if I may ask?
I feel like, well, he's just like one of the coolest people I know. Like genuinely, he's just a cool person. He's just interesting and he's nice and he's just like a good person to have around and we always have a good time. So it's like, okay, I feel like it's, I don't know.
Do you have other close guy friends?
I have some close guys.
Do you think any of them would be better options?
Oh, none of them would I want to be
No?
with like
Okay.
that. No.
Wait, so I mean, it sounds like you really like this guy. He sounds great. You're really attracted to him. Have you made a push in this 8 months to like regain the title?
No, not really.
Exactly. And that's what I was gonna say, Zyrax. Like, that's the way I feel about people these days. Like, a lot of people, not everybody. One second.
Happen if you were like, you texted him tonight, called him tonight, and you said, "I want to be boyfriend girlfriend." What do you think his response would be?
I'm not sure. I think it's a complicated situation. I think
How's
there's
it complicated?
Well, I live here. He lives
And?
there. I'm also transferring. Like, I don't know where I'm going to transfer yet. So there's just a lot of things.
Well, you're currently already there. So it's like 2 hours away, 90 minutes, something like that.
Something like that, yeah.
So you're already distanced. You don't think you'd go for it?
I don't know. I haven't asked. I don't like conflict or
Okay.
asking necessarily. I'd rather just enjoy what I'm happy with right now.
Okay.
That
so
sounds like not good, but
I think a lot of people are really cowardly these days, and they hide behind this whole like like this facade of like, oh well, it's easier this way. Well, it's easier for you, right? It's easier for you if you don't have to face a person. And, you know, so that's like what this person told me, like, you know, a couple months ago. They were like, oh, well, it's really intense being your friend or whatever. And I'm like, well, why is it intense, though? Like, the only thing I ask from people is, like, you know, being genuine and being honest, right? So, like, the only reason that it'd be difficult is if you were, like, a disingenuous, dishonest coward, right? Which, you know, is the way people are now. Like, they're deceptive for no reason, and then once you pull their covers, they'll just tune you out. Like, it's so easy to just press block, you know? It's like, I don't get it. It doesn't resonate. It doesn't, like, when I see that, it disgusts me. And it's tough because I really, really, you know, I have feelings, you know, like, for this person, like, not romantically or whatever, but just, you know, as a friend. And that's why, you know, it's like, I just don't understand how people do that, you know? It's not for me.
I swear it's Joe. Like,
I mean, just the only reason I'm asking is because, I mean, initially you said single, but then, like, you still frequently every weekend, pretty much? Every other weekend?
No, like, maybe
once a month?
Once every few months.
Oh, once a month?
Maybe.
We saw him last weekend.
That was because there was a music festival, so.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I was there for a different reason.
Okay, all right, so I'm just going to say it's complicated.
Yeah.
It's complicated.
It's real complicated.
But it doesn't seem like you're open to meeting somebody new, though. So you're kind of like, this guy's kind of locking you up a little bit.
Sure, yeah.
Would you, if you met another guy, would you break it out? Like, because, I mean, I could certainly see if you met a new guy and he finds out that you're still friends and still hanging out with the guy you dated for 2 years and you've been in essentially a situationship for 8 months. Would you just do a clean cut with this guy and stop being friends with him if a new guy asked you to?
Like, stop being friends, though? Just as friends, too?
Yeah, so no friends.
I don't know. I'd have to...
I'll open that question up to the whole panel. Like, should you remain friends with an ex? Is it a bad look to your new partner? But first, let's get through everybody's relationship status. So, what about you?
I'm single.
All right. How long have you been single?
Since I was 19.
So 22, 21, 24. So you've been single for about 4 years?
Could have just
like
kept the whole fucking show on her. Shit.
3 or 4 years.
3 to 4 years, okay. Longest relationship?
I think probably like 6 months.
6 months.
I don't even know if he would count it as 6 months. You could ask him.
Why do you say that?
Depends on the cheating timeline, I would say.
How many dudes did you cheat on with?
No, I didn't cheat.
Oh, shit, my bad.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Not me.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So he was cheating on you?
Yeah, it also would depend on, like, yeah, I guess, like, we were on a different page about what the relationship was.
Yeah, you were still in a relationship if he was cheating on you, but definitionally that's why it's cheating.
In my mind, it was probably about, like, 6 months, like, in terms of how I was invested as, like, a girlfriend.
Okay. And you, from what age to what age did you date him? Were you 18, 19?
19 to 19.
No, 19, okay. So 19 for this one. All right. And then that's the longest relationship you've been in. Was there a title boyfriend, girlfriend?
Yeah, for a period of time.
Okay. And then you broke up with him, I'm assuming, because of the cheating?
Yes.
Okay. But you've been single for 4 years. Any prospects in that 4 year period? Anything shorter term, maybe 3 months? Any short term things like that, or not really?
Nothing where I thought someone was going to be my boyfriend.
Okay. Have you been on dating apps at all?
Freshman year I was, before I met my ex, and it was kind of just to, like, mess around. Like, I wasn't actually, like, going on a dating app to try to, like, meet someone.
Would you, like, use was it Tinder that you were using, or?
Yeah, I think it was only Tinder that I ended up on. Like, other people recommended, like, I think it was Hinge or Bumble, maybe.
Hinge, Bumble.
But it was actually funny because one of the guys that I was talking to on Tinder.
Last time I've actually used a dating app was, like, early 2000s, and it was Plenty of Fish. And then I tried Facebook dating a while ago, but yeah, I didn't really get anything out of that. But yeah, I've had people recommend that to me. I'm like, see, I can't use a dating app either. It's just not gonna work out for me. You don't use them either, missing mine.
Swiping on my friend on, like, another app, and then I was like, oh, he's on all of them. Like, you know, he's
for the streets.
He's for the streets. He's for the streets.
Okay.
And so
too many
actually,
liars, and it's geared so much, like, towards women. Like, with men, they just want to, you know, because men generally have to pay for interactions, whereas women don't. And then so they want to keep you, you know, on the hook for as long as they can. So you have to keep paying.
I was kind of just messing around on Tinder because I was bored.
I see. Okay. Did you go on any dates? Meet any guys from Tinder or no?
I went on one date.
Okay. Did it go beyond that?
Dog says I need a girlfriend. He is.
Or was
He
it just
is
a
married.
one date thing?
We went on a second date, and then
You
I
weren't
was
feeling
like,
it?
no, yeah.
No.
He was 22 and I was 19 at
Dirty
the time.
boy.
So we were like in just really different places mentally.
Yeah, your
I guess
wife
like I
might-
was a
your
freshman. He
wife
had just
might disapprove,
graduated,
buddy.
I think from like one of the UCs, and he lived in Santa Barbara, and so he had like his parents' house here.
Okay.
And I don't know exactly what he was doing. He claimed to have like a really good job or something like that. And he just talked a lot of talk and just seemed like he was 22, and so I was like, oh, you know, like older guy, like he must be set. He must be like legit. And then he was
Well.
acting up, and I was like, why are you inviting me over to go like drink at your parents' house and like play beer pong? You're literally 22 and you claim to have like a high-paying tech job. Like, what's your deal? And so I was like, no.
Why? Is he like a dinosaur, basically? Like, did you view him as a dinosaur at that age?
No, I didn't view him as a dinosaur. I viewed him as like a high value man. Like I thought that he was like,
okay.
you know, had his shit together, and then he like kind of didn't. So I was like, and also I was like, why are you asking out like freshman girls? Like why are you not dating in your own age range? Not that that's like a huge age gap, but I was kind of like, it was just weird.
So he was 22 and you were 19?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think there's
I
anything
don't,
weird
and
there.
also like looking at it now that I'm 22, I don't think it's that weird. But like, it was just kind of funny that he was more. It felt like he was more interested at the time, and like. Obviously, when you're 19 and you're living here, you have a lot more options. Than when you just graduated.
Sure.
Couch_hopper_outdoors donated $69. That first girl is going to be her friend's baby mom.
Any plans to get knocked up? Okay. Right. Actually, really, I want to add a question onto the.
But I mean, that's not really an age gap, right? 22 to 19. That's not really even.
Yeah, I don't think that would even fall into it. But so you were so you've been single for 4 years. In that 4-year time period, any prospects currently? Any prospects?
No.
Nothing.
No.
Just stay at home, pretty much, or.
I don't stay at home. I just like don't like. I'm not looking. I guess
not
I'm like
looking.
about to graduate.
Yeah. Did you go out and party at all?
Yeah.
Like, did you hit the bars downtown?
Yeah. I honestly, the bars downtown are not riveting in my opinion.
Not riveting. Okay. You party around.
Guys get so mad at me when they're married. Like, what the fuck? Yeah, I saw the super chats at the end too. They're pretty bad. Yeah.
Here.
Yeah. Like.
Are you
It's a long stream.
Yeah, I am.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So you go to, like, the frat parties and stuff. Like
Yeah, I did the whole frat party thing.
Okay.
I mean, like,
Sure.
like when you're younger and they like pair with the frats to go have the parties and stuff.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
fully had the whole like sorority experience, I guess.
Sure. Okay. So zero prospects. Not even like a more casual friends with benefits thing. Currently?
Not really. I don't think that the like dating pool, at least.
It's one of the great things about living in the Bay. You don't have to spend much to go on a date. Yep, exactly.
That I'm like mingling with is interested in.
It doesn't matter
talking
that
about-
you're not legally married. You're married in the eyes of God, Todd.
Friend at this point, I don't think that I'm necessarily interested in copying a boyfriend.
Right.
And I would just say that like the love of my life is not in IB, and he's not at Joe's downtown, and he's most definitely not at any of the frats here. So.
Okay. And so.
Of course, if your wife approves, I don't think the Bible disapproves, as far as I could tell. You'd have a harem.
You said you're not really looking to have a boyfriend at this moment. What are you looking for, if anything?
Like I would be looking to be in a relationship. I just don't think that it's here. So like when I graduate, then like that's a different story. But
Okay.
here, no.
Are you planning to stick around here, or are you gonna move somewhere?
I'm moving back to Seattle.
Back to Seattle, downgrade.
It is kind of a downgrade, yeah.
Weather-wise, anyways.
Weather-wise.
Probably other-wise. Other reasons.
I have a job back there, so.
You got one lined up?
Yeah.
And you're graduating, so you're leaving in like a month or two or something?
Yeah, like once I graduate, I'll be going back like once my lease is up, like 3 days after. Yeah.
Okay, gotcha. But so for the 4 years you've been single, were there any? You said there was like a couple month thing here and there, or?
Yeah, like it's not like I've been celibate, but like.
Sure.
I don't think that I haven't been committed to someone since I was a freshman, because I think I kind of learned my lesson with that one, where I was like not gonna fight for my life to try to wife someone up, and that's what happened.
All right. Okay. Good to know. What about you?
I am soon to be single.
What does that mean? Soon to be single. You know what? Wait. Look into this camera and say, Bartholomew, I break up with you.
Bartholomew.
That's his name, right? I don't know.
No.
So
If I
you're
say his
cur-
name is like too obvious, like that will not work.
So you're currently in a relationship.
Yes. Like yes, like yeah.
But
It's
you
just
just-
okay. It's been very complicated. This has been
Oh, yeah?
the weirdest relationship I've had so far in my life.
Why is it weird?
Because a lot of bad things happened, and it was a lot of
What did
things.
you do to him?
I didn't do anything.
What
That's
did
the
you
thing.
do?
I've been there. I've been sitting and getting a lot of DMs half the time, and it was just like very troubling. And it was
Wait, for you to be getting DMs, or what was troubling?
it was just like people saying stuff, which I will not open up here, but it was just like a lot of outside influence.
Like, people saying stuff, but I'm not gonna reveal it. What the? The government hates this one simple trick. Said Solomon was very blessed, and he was the smartest man to ever live. He had hundreds of wives and concubines, yes, but he took responsibility over them, with marriage and I guess a sales receipt. If God lets the devil roam free, who's he to judge us? Indeed.
Is into the relationship.
Oh, like girls would DM you saying like, yo, your boyfriend's cheating on you, basically?
Like worse things.
What's worse?
That I will not say here. But it's just been a very bad.
He was like making rumors about you?
No, like that's like a for an
somebody?
off, like, no, imagine, no.
She needs
no.
to pee already. See that one on the other side? You think she's drinking, or do you think she's pregnant?
It was just a lot of.
He's a furry?
Imagine. Yes.
I think, yeah, he was. Okay, wait, so how long have you been dating this guy?
I feel like technically since July again.
Wait, again? So it was off?
I met him last year in January.
Okay.
And then I left the country for 2 months.
Mm-hmm.
And then I came back. So for like a period while I was gone, we took a break because like I was gone, I guess, and it was just too much. And then just like everything went downhill after I came back in a way, but we're both graduating, so we both had a talk recently of like, okay, let's just not, because we live really far from each other. And that didn't work
Can I
out.
just have you scoot your mic this way a little bit?
No, these chicks don't stay pregnant for long.
Sorry.
Oh no,
it's
that's
okay.
bad.
You've been seeing him for like 6 months again?
Like July, like last year. It's like a year, basically.
I don't know. She looks like, I don't know. She's kind of a thick girl. It's like, couldn't tell if there was a belly on her or not.
Yeah.
But you're gonna end it?
Yes.
What is he's probably watching. What if he's watching right now?
Well,
like
we talked, and we've talked like, yes, we've both are in agreement of that.
Take it off 69. Keep going.
We are both in agreement of that, and it was just like hard at first, but again, while I was gone, it was terrible, and we don't live close to each other, and I don't need that. I don't need to go through that again. I don't think he needs to go through that again. So it was a mature talk. Like, we're fine, but at the same time, we both know that we're literally not seeing each other in like 3 weeks.
Wait, so did you get, because you said you're in a relationship, but you need to break up with him, so you had like a breakup talk?
Yeah.
So it's like, hey, in a couple
It's like
weeks,
we
I'm
have
gonna
like an
dump you,
expiration date.
but-
What the fuck? What are you talking about? We have an expiration date? Is this chick for real?
Like, we're like, you know, like things go bad, like, hey, it's gonna go bad that day, and after that, we're done.
So is this like one of you're graduating, or
Yes,
like
we're both
school's
graduating.
ending? So you'll
Yeah.
stay together until the end of the semester or whatever.
Yeah.
And then you go your separate ways.
Yes.
We're staying together till graduation. End of the semester.
Why not just break up with him now?
Because there's still a lot of care towards each other. Like, I care a lot about him, and I know, like, I hope and I believe that he cares as well. So basically, it's like, let's just like appreciate what we've had, even though it's been a very troubled road this far.
Yeah.
And just try to be peaceful for the love of God.
Are you guys living together?
No, I will.
Just break it off. What are you talking about? That was a trick question. The devil is in fact in hell. That's why God's judged. Well, okay. I dump him now and go find a hot mover to help me move. Oh shit.
Never do that again.
You
No,
both live in Santa Barbara?
Yes.
Okay. So you're planning to break up, but you're currently together.
Yes.
And so the breakup is because you guys are just going to be going your separate, like moving different areas, moving to a different area?
I think for me, like, I can't speak for him, but like for me, it's just like, apart from distance, like, there needs to be a lot of personal growth, and
For you or for him?
For both. I think same. Like, I feel like I've been through like a lot in a different relationship and in that one, so it's like, I don't need to go through that, and I think it's an actual time for me to like start just focusing on myself, because I jump from relationships.
Was it a serial monogamist or whatever?
Not really, but it just kind of like happens. It's like bad.
What's bad?
The dating. Like, I don't know. Like, after a while, I'm just like, oh, like, why am I dating again? But it's funny.
All right. So you said you got like weird DMs about him. I don't know if you can give us a general idea of, was he cheating? Is that basically it?
Things like that kind of happened, but I was told that in person by people that I thought were my friends, and then I was like, oh damn, you knew that for like a long time until you told me this. So like,
okay.
But the Instagram stuff, it was more, I don't know, like, how do I say this? Like, dark subjects, like, I don't know, just like very bad things that were like being spread about him, and yeah.
Sure.
Like, he's grapey. I'm guessing, like, what would it be? Either that or he's a cheater. It's like, oh, I can't believe the lady. Who's the lady? The little Asian girl is the cute one. On the the one that works with the show.
Exactly.
Yeah. I'm like,
okay. What about you?
I'm in a relationship.
Or the one who was just talking. Is she Asian? She doesn't look Asian. Oh, okay, yeah.
About like 4 to 5 years.
Is this your longest relationship?
Yeah.
Okay. What about you?
I'm single.
How long have you been single?
A year and a half.
Longest relationship?
2 years and a half.
You were on one of our early shows, like I think it was one of our first like 20 shows. Were you in a relationship back then? So that was, I believe, in September of 2022 was when you were on.
That was actually when we just started talking. So we started dating shortly after.
Okay, so you dated him for a little bit, but not too long. A couple months, it sounds like.
No, 2.5 years.
Wait, but you said you've been single for 1.5 years, but you were on the show like a year and a half ago.
No, I was on the show in 2021.
No, it was 2022. September 2022. I double checked.
Really?
Take my word for it.
Okay, then we were already dating. We have been dating for a year then.
Okay, got it. Okay. I don't know the exact math on it, but you probably either ended it or were single around the time you were on the show. What about you?
So I was with someone for about 10 years, and then we were like on and off. We were married. We have 2 kids together. I'm divorced now. I'm single, and I've probably been single for about a year.
This is like college girls. Well, I guess she could be in college. She could have gone back to college, right? She was married for 10 years, so she's older. The one with the hat that's always there, yes. I like the girl on the far right. Wait, all the way around the table? I don't know. I don't know that I like any of them. I mean, you mean as far as looks? Yeah, the first one was alright.
Okay. Any dating prospects in that time period? Or?
Yes, I'm just keeping my options open.
All right. Actually, going back to you really quick, you've been single for 1.5 years. Any current dating prospects?
No, I actually just got
Yeah, she's nice. The one, her, and not the one next to her, but the one on the corner there. Not bad looking.
Situationship.
How long was it?
She seems the most innocent. Yeah, for sure.
Huh?
But, to a point where it's, like, naive, like, I almost feel bad for her after what she was saying. It's like, okay. Like, dude's obviously fucking playing the field, and she's, like, hooked on him, so.
Very, like, my entire college time that I was single, but, like, off and on. Because it was, like, also, like, my best friend that I was, like, hooking up with. So, now we're just friends.
All right. What about you?
I'm currently running a harem sex cult. Sorry, I'm just kidding. I'm single. My longest relationship was 7 years.
From what age to what age?
From 13 to 20.
Damn, okay. I was like junior high status.
Middle school, basically.
Middle school, yeah. How long have you been single?
For 7 years.
So longest relationship, 7 years, single for 7 years?
Yeah.
In that 7-year single period, any prospects, longest thing in that period?
I've tried to date, but it hasn't worked out for me.
So nothing? Like
no.
A month?
No.
2 months, 3 months? Nothing?
No.
Anything short term, more casual?
Chubby chaser, what? Who, me? Not into the thick girls? I mean, I've been with some thick girls. I'm alright with it, but, it's not like my preference. Yeah, I have a bit of an issue with it now after being with bigger girls. Because they're more self-conscious, right? Like they're more self-conscious, they're more insecure, which, like, I mean, it's a trade-off, like, I always, like, with my ex, when we got into it, she would complain about her weight. I wouldn't complain about it. She would complain about her weight. And then I would try to get her motivated. So, okay, we'll go work out, or we can work out together, or whatever. And then it never worked out. So it always just ended up being a fight between us, because I'd be like, I don't want to hear you complain about your weight while not doing anything about it. You know what I mean? So it brings me down. I don't have these problems because I get out of the fucking house and walk and shit.
No, I've tried. I went on, like, one date here or there, but nothing more than that.
So have you been celibate?
No. There's been a couple times where I've slipped up, but I've been celibate for the past couple years now.
How long have you been celibate? Like 3 years or something? 4 years.
4
all right.
years, yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty good. Pretty decent period of time. 4 years. And you've been on dating apps at all or no?
I tried to go on Tinder, and I've had bad experiences on Tinder, so.
Okay. All right. Celibate for 4 years. Good times. Good times. Is it for, like, are you religious at all? Or?
I'm Catholic, but it's just because I've realized that I don't want to. I realized that I don't want to have sex with someone until I'm in a committed relationship with them.
Okay. Until you're in a committed, so not until marriage, but until you're in a relationship.
Yeah.
Okay. And so has that been your standard for all the men that you have dated?
No.
Okay.
That one relationship that I was in, that was the only relationship that I've been in.
Mm-hmm.
And then the other people I have hooked up with.
Okay. What about you?
I have a wonderful boyfriend. We've been together for 6
I
months.
have a wonderful boyfriend. So all girls are insecure. All you have to do is try to give it to her all the time, make her feel hot. That works like a charm. Okay. Girls love attention, and looks and sexual attraction are very important. Of course. Of course. You say skinny girls are super insecure, dog? I don't know. It just depends, like that's women now. Somebody was saying something about this before, like we're like, people. It's like because of the internet, like it seems like there's a bigger pool of people, but really, like, I think people tend to actually limit themselves more, right? Like, because there seems to be a bigger dating pool, like they will actually like start nitpicking to the point where you wouldn't end up like ever dating anybody outside of a specific type, because there's so many of that type for you to go like just browse through, like. And it's like that's like the online dating thing, and that's what all the apps are. You just swipe people, like I think it makes people really. I mean, people are already shallow, but I think this adds to that. Like, it'll make people more shallow. Like, you wouldn't even get to know anything about somebody's personality. Like, so I don't base attraction on looks primarily. Of course, you have to have some physical attraction, but he wants a secure woman? Yeah. Well, I just want more companions for this campaign, you bastard. A rich girl with money, looks, and personality. Yeah. Raise the bar, Spooky.
And is this your longest relationship?
My longest relationship was a little over a year.
All right. Andrew Wilson, what about you?
I am happily married, have been for well over a decade.
All right. And you said you had 2 kids, is it?
Yeah.
From same man, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Let me just write that down. 2 kids. All right. We've got everybody's relationship status. So, where do we begin? I wanted to ask. Okay. So, do you guys think it's a good look or a bad look to remain friends with an ex? Starting with you.
I think it depends on. Oh, sorry. Am I speaking close enough?
No, you're good.
Yeah. Sorry. I think it depends on like the person and the situation. I feel like it's kind of hard to like give a generalization because like, I don't know. I would say it really depends. There's like obviously certain people that you like if they've been bad to you, like don't stay friends with them. But if it, right. I feel like it depends on the situation.
Well, like let's assume that the relationship was otherwise a good one.
Mm-hmm.
I guess this question is more so from the frame of you're dating somebody new. Could remaining friends with an ex become an issue in your new relationship? That's kind of the angle for this question.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes, it can. So I dated a chick who was friends with like most of her exes, and it was rough. It was rough, like trying to trust in a person, knowing that they slept with somebody and then trust them to be with that person again, and that they wouldn't sleep with them because they're with you, right? Like, I don't know. That's tough, for sure. I mean, I've been there a couple of times. So let's see. As far as friends with my exes, I'm not really friends with any of my exes. Like, I mean, I remain friends with my most recent ex until she passed away, but we also weren't able to. It was an issue, right? Like, because she didn't want to let me go. So even when she got into a relationship with another person, like I ended up being the other guy, on a couple of occasions. I wasn't really cool with that. But I didn't want to be in a relationship with her anymore, but we still remain friends. I remain friends with my daughter's mom for the most part, on and off throughout the years. But it's like because we have kids together, you know. But other than that, yeah, I talk to very few of my exes. Said I'm being a sexist monster right now, Mr. Mug. Yeah. Talk says men need more sugar mamas than Donnie mommies. Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe. At least one of those things you listed. Funny. Your ex is dead as well? I'm sorry, Missing Mod. Yeah, mine just passed away in February.
I mean, I suppose it could. It just depends on, like, what relationship you still, like, if it's really genuinely just friends, then I wouldn't see the issue on, like, both sides. Like, if someone's literally just their friend, then that's one thing.
So would you date a guy who's still best friends with an ex-girlfriend?
Yeah, I guess. If they were
You wouldn't
genuinely
mind
just...
at all?
I feel like it...
Like nothing in the back of your head?
No, I mean, maybe that would be, you know, something where I'd be like, you know. But also, as I said, I think it's all situational. It's kind of hard to put it in generalization.
I would say that there's like something a little suspicious about it. Like, I don't think that it's like a lie if someone were to say that they were friends with their ex, and I think that's like pretty respectable, I guess. But I don't think that you just kind of like go back to being friends. I feel like once you date someone, then that's the status of what your relationship is. And so if I were to meet a guy and he was like, yeah, like I'm besties with my ex, I'd be like, that's weird. Like, I don't know if I would be 100% comfortable with it. And I think that like,
yeah,
even if
I mean, if there's romance there, there's always a chance that like that romance can rekindle, right? Like even if you don't necessarily intend it to. Like that's the way I see it. Yeah, I definitely. I mean, I've had that with my kids' moms, with both of them, where I know I didn't intend to hook up with them, but because there's still something there, you know, I did hook up with them against my better judgment, like after the breakup with both of them. So not at the same time.
Were to like try to be fine with it, I would probably feel kind of insecure and be like, why are you guys still friends? Like, is there like an underlying motive? Or essentially, like, I'm your friend, I'm your best friend, so we're not gonna have you like be besties with the old one. There's no reason for the old one. She's done, respectfully.
Okay, there you go. What about you?
That's like a tough one because it's so situational. Like, I know I've tried being friends with an ex and that didn't work, and I don't know. Like, I feel like if I started seeing eye to eye, I also like would be like very sussed out, and like I've been the one that tried to be friends, so I was like, I might be the problem too. So I don't know, but it's just like, cause like how close friends.
Iris says, I like the first chick, super pretty. Yes. And she gives off the girl next door type of chick. Yes. Absolutely. Yeah, she's very cute. I question her mindset. Just start allowing the girls to have a drink during the show. Oh, they weren't allowed to drink before and now they are. If you're in a relationship and they're BFFs with the opposite sex, bad. It's bad news.
Are you guys like, do you guys just hang out a lot of times? Like, what is this friendship, and like what is happening here? Like, what is this relation that you now, like, you downgraded? Like, what happened there? So I don't know. I have too many trust issues.
I think it depends on the relationship also, and I think sometimes maybe if you're in like a super long-term relationship,
I tend to prefer. I mean, like I said, I don't really have a type, but I do prefer darker hair. It's always been a turn off. I don't know why. Just making a joke out of it. I'm a bonobo. Yes.
So
I'll go with that.
With your ex, and might be friends with them, and it might be just that, and I think that could be unproblematic. But I think if you're going to make yourself like open to a completely new experience, and they know that you're talking to your ex, it does look bad. So there's two sides to it, in my opinion. I feel like you can't.
Your dad like brunettes, Miss Vaughn? Yeah, So I have a my crush from childhood is brunette, and we dated in like grade school, like really innocent type of dating, like holding hands and stuff like that, and we're still friends. Not a chance in hell of us getting together, but we stay in touch or whatever, and but yeah, so that's kind of like always been my archetype, I guess. Also, because my mom's a blonde, like, I've never really wanted to be with a blonde. Like, so I guess I just go for the opposite of that. But I am attracted to some blondes. It's just, like, it's not something I look for, though. Like, so, yeah, I kind of have that archetype, but then I'm just really, really, like, flexible as far as looks go.
Do you guys break up? Like, depending on the relationship, you can definitely have a closeness. Like, I'm personally very close with two of my exes, but if I were to get into another relationship, I would change the dynamic of our, like, closeness. So, like, the most we talk would be, like, a happy birthday phone call or something.
Well, I don't know. It just depends on the situation. It's kind of a slippery slope when you're friends with an ex. Like, me and my ex have 2 co-parents, so we have to be cordial, but I also feel like there's also that chance that you guys could end up hooking back up, and it just kind of starts everything back up. So, yeah, I think it's really hard to do that.
I think it would be detrimental to a newfound relationship to be friends with anyone that you were in a relationship with before or hooked up with before.
I definitely think it's a huge red flag. I think that there are some situations where it's not as bad, but definitely odd.
Okay. LPE, by the way, we boosted it back up to 100, just heads up, but thank you for the song, LPE. We did change that about 15 minutes ago. So it's just the $69 TTS was for just the first 30 minutes of the show. Now it's back up to it's 100 read, 99 read, 199 plus TTS.
Jesus.
And then I mean, my thoughts on this is
$100. Greedy bastards.
Easy answer: no. Not a good look. Would not date a girl who is friends with her ex. You can be on good terms with them. You can be amicable, but if they're like friends and like hanging out, that's just it's a no-go. Andrew.
Who's funny, what? Oh. You have reference like a celeb you think is attractive? Who, me or Todd? I give a bunch. For me, I'd say like Natalie Portman. Huge crush on her since I was a kid.
Your quick thoughts on this one?
We're also like the same age, so.
No, you shouldn't ever be friends with your exes. And if you're in a committed relationship of any type, you shouldn't have friends of the opposite sex either.
Okay, there you go. And so I want to ask this question. We won't linger too long on it because we've already talked about this on the show a couple previous times. The man versus bear debate. Maybe you guys have seen this viral thing on TikTok, social media. So if you're walking alone in the woods, would you rather come across a bear or a man?
I've come across bears. I do a lot of hiking, so they're not like.
What kind of bears?
Thankfully not a grizzly, but black bears. A lot in Wyoming. Was it Wyoming? Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know. They kind of leave you alone. As long as you look down and you back away slowly, you don't make yourself look big. So
you've actually come across a bear. Were you alone or walking with
no,
friends?
No, I was with my mom and my sister. Yeah.
Okay.
We were backpacking.
And so you did come across an adult black bear.
Yeah.
Nice kids.
Okay. And so what did you guys do in that situation?
We really just, it was like far enough away that it wasn't like, right at our faces or something, thankfully. Otherwise, my sister would have freaked out and run away, which would have been really bad. But, you really just, you mind your business. You look down, you back away, you don't look, you don't want to scare the bear, obviously, or make any sudden movement. So it's really just look down, back away slowly. Which I feel like could be the same thing you could do if you see a scary man alone in the woods. You look down, back away slowly. So I think it could go either way.
No. Okay.
But
so
I don't think
you did do that with the black bear, though. You look down, walk back. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or like when you see them, like if you're backpacking, when you see them, you just kind of, they just mind their own business. They don't.
That's one option.
Really want your
Do you ever
stuff.
do that? Have you ever crossed paths with a man and look down, walk
Like
back?
every time I see a man, I don't want to make eye contact.
Oh shit. Okay. All right. All right. What about you?
My friends and I were talking about this debate the other day, and I think that it's funny because I would say a bear. I think that if you were to reverse the question respectfully, I don't know what guys say to this, but I would say a bear because I know that at least like the worst thing that he could do is kill me. A man could do a variety of things.
Okay. Well, I'll get everybody's answers. We won't linger on this one for too long, but I'll get people's answers.
A bear, because that's easier to scare away.
A bear is easier to scare away?
I think. Isn't like you're supposed to just like scream at them and they like run away? That's like the tales I've heard.
Depends on the bear.
I'd rather the bear still, though. I don't know. I'll take my chances.
Okay, so the bear. All right, what about you?
I love bears. I wish I could be close to a bear and it not kill me, but I'd rather be a man.
Okay.
I'll take the bear any day.
You guys are crazy. A man for sure.
A man.
I would say bear because I like large animals.
That's a terrible answer.
Well, bears are also like dumber. Yeah. Like if a bear, like I would rather be probably like being mauled by a bear would suck, but like a man could sneak up on you, like they could kill you in like lots of other like really sadistic ways. Like a bear is just gonna maul you.
Like if you're lost in the woods and you find a man that could help you out or build a fire or build a place for you to stay, like over the night wherever you guys are lost, like I feel like they'd have a lot more survival skills than at least I would have if I'm lost in the woods.
Oh, I thought this was
help you though.
Yeah.
I thought this was a man who help you though. That's the whole thing about
Man.
like finding a man in the middle of the woods would be the dangerous part.
But what if they're just
I'd
hiking?
rather be alone.
What if you get lost and there's a man hiking and he has all these survival skills that you personally don't have that can help you in that
This is
situation?
fucking seriously a debate right now. Oh shit. A bear is not dumber.
But there's also a lot of men that would do the opposite, and it's like, are you gonna take your chances of like, I rather trust myself?
Here, so let me ask. So this sort of seems to, there's this assumption here that the man would be bad in the situation. What percentage, like, so the frame here is, you pluck a totally random man out of, say, the entire population of the United States. Totally random man. So what percentage of men do you think would attack you?
A high one?
I feel like it's
So-
also the fact that the man knows that he's alone with you and that he can get away with anything. It'd be very different
Not
to find a
necessarily,
man
but-
on the side of the road, like on the side of the road.
Wow. That's crazy. You just really think most dudes are rapists? Please. Would find better men if they looked for the bare necessities. This girl's got only one skill and the bear don't want that.
Be like, okay, that man will probably help me, but like in the middle of nowhere, it's like you really don't know, and I wouldn't want to take my chances because I just value my life a little too much.
So, well, asking the question, since we are talking about, you're just picking, it's a totally
What's
random.
interesting is because like the numbers, like more and more, women, are coming out. So like we know that a lot more essays take place than used to be reported, but we also know that a lot of them are committed by the same dudes. Right? It'll be the same dude, and all the girls are like, oh, he's so dreamy. And you come to find out he's a fucking rapist, and it's like, oh, he's been doing it since high school, like all these girls just, and it's like, okay, yeah, but it'll just be that one dude, and he's usually, a fucking stud or whatever. So he just, he gets this entitlement complex and just does whatever he wants, and then but I'm like. So that it doesn't mean that like most dudes actually commit SAs, right? Like I don't think most men do. Like I think it's just a certain school of them that get into this. Like I said, they just feel entitled to fucking women, and then it doesn't help that they probably they get a lot more attention because of their looks or whatever, and their person they got to be charmers, right? Like serial killers are charming too, right? Which is weird because it's like all those qualities that women say they want in a man, all of a sudden he ends up being a fucking monster, right? But he appears to have all those qualities. Gives him drugs like Bill Cosby. All girls have had that one guy that's like, I did kind of say yes. Yeah.
Be a good man, could be a bad man, could be a neutral man, I guess. So the good man could conceivably say you're
I had one time, me and a woman that I was with, we were both drinking, right? And we got into it, and then at some point I realized that she was confused, so I stopped. And then she had to go and have like a moment. She called her mom, and then she came back, and she had like sobered up, and then she wanted to go back to bed. I was like, okay. But even like that, just that like bit of, I was like, no. Like, I'm gonna stop now. Like, this isn't happening. Even drunk, like, I recognized that there was something off. I wasn't just gonna keep going with that. I don't know. I couldn't do that.
Austin Force, he can help you survive. Could be a neutral man who just walks right by you, goes along his way. Could be a bad man who, murderer, whatever. What percentage of men do you think, if presented with this scenario, would actually attack you in some way, whatever way that might be?
Are you asking?
Yeah, starting with you, we'll go around the table.
I don't know. Probably not a large percent.
What do you think?
I don't know. That's such a broad question. I feel like I wouldn't of the U.S. population. You mean? Is that what you said?
Yeah, sure.
I don't know. A low percentage, I would say. Not a very high percent necessarily,
Give
but
us 10%, 20%.
like 30, maybe.
30%. 30% of men
Is that
would.
a lot? Am I? I don't
Well,
know.
we'll get
Okay.
everybody's
never
answers.
mind.
What about you? What do you think?
I would say maybe like 20%, like 1 in 5.
One in 5 men would
Like-
try to murder you.
I don't know. I think it's really context dependent too. Like, what is he doing in the woods alone?
Well, it's just you've just plopped a random man.
It's just like by chance.
Totally random man.
I would say probably 20%.
So 1 in 5 men would be inclined to murder a woman if given a chance.
I don't really know. Like, maybe I would say it's probably lower, like in reality, in terms of like murder rates or whatever. I just think that.
Grid One Motorsports donated $200.
Yo, good to see
Let's
you,
be
Grid
honest, you will never see the man, as he knows why it will be nothing but a drain on resources and decrease his chance of survival. He will simply watch as you give the bear indigestion. F you all.
Okay, thank you.
He donated $200 to say that. That's so amazing. That's so
You don't want to invoke his wrath. Trust me. Okay, first girl's answer is mute because she was. What? Okay, I thought the microphones were muted. What percentage of men?
I can't even think
Well,
about it. I think like
recall, you said like
a high one. I would.
God, is there actually a number for this? Take the whole damn room with you, please. Real men take what they want. Oh my goodness. Oh, well, thank you, Missing Mod. Yeah. I wonder how many men would be scared alone with a woman in the woods just to avoid her so they wouldn't get accused of, yeah.
I said a high one. I feel like, okay.
What's high?
I feel like 30 to 35, like maybe even pushing 40. I feel men are just scary as a woman. And like, if you're ever alone just in the streets, in the city, a random man.
Okay, so random 40% of men would opt to attack you in this situation. What about you?
I'd say a very low percent.
Did you say man or bear?
I said man.
Okay.
I'd rather be a man. Yeah.
Sure.
And
Wait, be a man?
I'd rather it be a man.
Oh, it's be. Okay.
Yeah,
go
I'd
ahead.
rather the person in the woods be a man than a bear.
Sure. What percentage do you?
So if a dude doesn't have any confidence that she's hot, I highly doubt he'd even approach her, yes. Men will pay 100 or more a night just to super drunk. Ugly below average POS. Had the balls to say their face for free. Right? Yeah.
Think.
A very small percentage. I think there'd be some men that'd be happy for like another person to find another
Sure.
person in the woods, and
Okay.
I think there'd be a low percentage that would want to kill you.
What percentage?
2%, maybe
2%,
1%.
1%. Okay. What do you think?
I think there'd actually be a pretty low percentage who want to like full on kill you. Maybe like 7%, but like a good 30% that would like do something very questionable, even if it's like the lowest form of like sexual harassment, but like for sure make you uncomfortable. Maybe even like 40%.
So, okay. What? So when you mean like they would SA you? 40%
Like
would
something,
SA?
40% would make you uncomfortable. Like they would do something.
Well,
That
couldn't a man just make you uncomfortable just by walking past you in the woods? Not even doing anything?
No, I'm pretty sure you get my point. Like 40%. Like for example, one would like I don't know, like slap your ass or something like that. Like something that like is not.
Okay. All right.
No.
That's okay. You said man. What percentage though do you think would
Like
do
to murder or to like rape or like what are we talking about here?
Just
Anything?
try to say SA instead if you have
Oh,
to
sorry,
talk
I'm
about
sorry.
that.
I don't know, like 5 to 10. Depends
5
what we're
to,
talking
5 to
about.
10%
Yeah, like
men would
5%.
try to SA or murder.
Yeah.
Okay. What about you?
I think like
SA or a murder, like they're just interchangeable. Like it's the same dudes that do SA, they do murders. Yeah, like I think there's a little bit different psychology going on there, but all right.
very small, like 0.1%.
Okay. What about you?
Yeah, I would say like 1 to 2%.
But you did pick bear, if I recall.
I did only
Correct.
because I am striving to be a large animal vet, so I think that I could actually help a bear. If it, you know.
You're not really engaging in good faith with the question, but
She just wants to come in contact with a bear in the wild, I think.
I know,
that's what
but
it
you're
is.
kind of like dancing around the point of the question. But okay. So the numbers some of you guys provided were pretty high.
Well, here's what I've got. I've got, for the first one, she thinks that 33 million men, 33 million men would want to and somehow do horrible things to you, which would include murder. The second one's 55 million men, by your estimate, would want
You gotta
to
fix that, Nick.
do something horrible to you in that situation. The other one's estimates were still beyond high, but you really think that 33 million men in the United States want to murder you in a forest if they could? Like, honestly, do you think that?
No, I was kind of just shooting a random number. I wasn't like, I feel like it's so broad. I don't know the percentages very for that. So I meant not a lot. Let's just go with not a lot because.
Okay, and then the other one's roughly 55 million. You think roughly 55 million men want to murder you in a forest?
No.
That is no.
I would like to say that like the misconception and like the high estimates are coming from the idea that
less
as
than
women
1%.
we are kind of
Absolutely. Like, yeah, it's a very small number.
conditioned to fear the idea of getting attacked by a man and be afraid of that. And so our estimate would be high because we already think the probability of getting attacked would be high given that women are not necessarily safe when they walk alone. I think
Doesn't that
that's
seem
where the
to you to
misconception
be-
is.
Yeah, doesn't that seem to you to be illegitimate though? If your estimates are so high that you believe that as many as 55 million men in your native nation would just murder you in a forest if they happen to be alone with you? I mean,
Okay,
don't
so
you think
I can-
that kind of conditioning might be a little bit absurd?
I'll retract my estimate if it bothers you. But I would say that
You can't even admit that it's just a dumb number. It's just like,
I
I'll
can stand by the
retract it
fact
because
that,
it bothers
maybe there's
you.
an
Why would you retract it
overinflated
because it
estimate,
bothers
but
me? Wouldn't you
Well, you
retract
seem
it
a little
because you
bothered,
don't
that's why.
believe? Yeah, wouldn't you retract it though because you don't actually believe that 55 million men in your native nation would murder you horribly if they were in a forest with you?
You're right. I think that it was inaccurate, but I'm saying that even though it was inaccurate, I'm speaking to the inaccuracy and saying the reason why was because lots of women fear being attacked by men.
Yeah, but that doesn't sound like it's very justified that they fear that.
Are you a woman?
When we start talking about the actual, do I need to be a woman to note if it's justified by the numbers whether you should fear that or not? I don't understand.
I don't
Should I
think
be
this
able
is
to
a
use my
numbers
logical
game.
brain even if I don't have a vagina to take note as to whether or not this is possible or not possible? Do I need to be a woman to note that 55 million men obviously and clearly don't want to kill you in a forest? Do I need to be a woman to know that?
I think you're a little stuck on the number. I think like really what we're talking about is the female experience, which you can't speak to.
Yeah, but I can speak to the male experience. And don't you
Yeah.
think the male experience can speak to the male experience of how many men I think would actually want to hurt you?
Well, I'm really happy that
How
you
come
wouldn't
only
hurt me in
you're
the parking
allowed
lot
to?
for what it's
It's not
worth.
it's not our job to kiss your ass because you're a woman. I'm having an adult conversation with you. So
I didn't ask you to kiss my ass.
I don't know why I need to look at everything from feminist standpoint theory or from your perspective when you so easily dismiss mine. I'm telling you that your number's absurd. It makes no sense. And as you retract it, you very quickly retracted it because you realized how absurd it was. Why would you say that I have to be a woman in order to speak to this? That seems insane.
Can you imagine seeing a strange woman in the woods and she's already thought of you some type of pervert, man? Yeah. These hoes would love a guy to playfully flirt with them. They'd be satisfied. Some, not all of them, yeah.
I didn't say that. I said that I was talking about my estimate, and you're right. My estimate was overinflated, but I explained to you why it was overinflated.
Yeah, I know.
Wilson is a dick, but he's got some hard arguments. I give him that. Credit where credit's
the
due.
reasoning. So I still have to take everything through a logical prism. So even if you tell me the reason that it was overinflated is because of X, that still has to make sense. Saying that it was this way because I just felt like it should be that way, that doesn't actually make any logical sense. You're not basing that on anything other than how you feel, right?
Right. No, she based it on the fact that we're conditioned. We're actually taught to think this way, not just by our mothers, but by our fathers, especially like in the Hispanic household. Like our fathers will be the one that tells you, "Don't trust the man in the wood."
Yeah, but that's really kind of strange because even right here on this panel, the estimates are wildly different as to how many women think that they would or would not be assaulted or murdered by men. So when you say we are taught that, like, as a collective, that clearly can't be true, as there's many women on this very panel who gave wildly different answers, right?
Yes, but not every man is a good father who teaches his daughters to be wary of a certain type of man. You know, not everyone is brought up in the same way.
That sounds like an indictment of being raised by mothers only.
Mothers only? What do you mean?
I was like,
Well,
there'd be
you're
nothing
saying-
wrong with that. But...
Yeah, there wouldn't, but I'm confused on your point.
Well, because if you're saying that it would require some kind of strong man in the home to condition a daughter to know what type of man to look for, wouldn't that be an indictment of being in only a single mother home, that probably wouldn't be good for a kid?
No, because
Proportionate amount of men were going to assault you in a forest if you came across one.
if I'm going to be honest, it was both, but it was mainly my father who wouldn't even let me go to a sleepover because of things like this.
Yeah, but I mean, there's a distinction between not wanting to let your teenage daughter go to sleepovers under certain types of conditions, rather than an indictment of men, and that men are going to just do horrible things to you. That seems kind of silly, right?
Well, no, because he actually like taught me like why it wasn't, like, you know what I mean? Like, he didn't just say you can't go to a sleepover because I don't want you to. He told me the reasoning behind it and like gave me
Yeah.
the whole talk, you know.
Yeah, so that's not really an indictment of men. That might have just been an indictment of the situation, right?
I love
Yeah,
that we
but
said.
I think what she's saying is that the numbers are so different because everyone has a different background experience of what they heard from growing up. Nobody actually knows what percentage.
Yeah, some people are just never taught about this stuff. Rex, if they asked if you decided to go camping alone tomorrow and you get lost in the woods, would you want a man or a bear to be the next thing you see? Yeah. Pose the question a little bit differently.
We're just all guessing. So some have a higher percentage because that's what the information they received growing up. Some have a lower percentage because that's the information they received, but no one really knows.
Exactly.
Yeah, but that's why we're kind of having a back and forth on it, right? We can assume that nobody knows the answer for sure, but we can still reason things out to make a determination. So, like, let me ask this question a slightly different way. Let's assume all of you were trapped in a forest. You were in a horrible plane wreck, and you were actually trapped in a forest, and there was a bear there. Now, the bear hadn't been overtly
I go
aggressive.
solo camping. Well, it's been a while, but yeah, I've been solo camping quite a bit. I've never been worried about being raped.
But you have been avoiding it like the plague because you didn't want to find out. You're trapped in the forest. The bear is there. You happen to come across a man on the trail who has not noticed you yet. Would you ask him for help?
100%.
Go ahead, going around the table. Would you ask him for help?
Oh, yeah. If
Yeah,
I'm lost
next.
in a forest, yeah.
Yeah. Would you ask for help?
Before I answer this, I
girl.
think that like I can see where your logic is going, where it's like, oh, why would you trust a random man if you were endangered?
Just answer the question, please.
Well, okay, yes, but I think I know where you're going with this. That's just what I was gonna say.
Okay, and then next one. Would you ask for help?
Probably not.
Probably not. You'd stay trapped in the middle of the forest.
Oh,
with a bear.
what's this? Your sideburns would protect you. True that.
Okay, next one. Would you ask for help?
Yeah, I would if it was a man or woman or they or anything. Yeah, I'd
Yeah,
ask
but it's a
for
man
help.
specifically.
Yeah,
oh, and
I
he has
would.
a rifle.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
okay.
I still would.
And then next, would you ask him for help?
I'd eye him out first.
Yeah, I know, but you've eyed him out. He looks like a normal man, just like Ted Bundy did and Jeffrey Dahmer did. He looks like a normal person.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't know. Dahmer arguably didn't look all that normal. He was kind of a weird looking dude. Bundy though, is one of those guys I was talking about. Charming, handsome, according to a lot of women, and yet look at him.
Next, would you?
Yes, but I think if you put the situation
Hang
like
on, no qualifiers yet. Hang on. I just want to get everybody's answer. The next.
Yes, I would.
You would, and then next.
Yes, 100%.
Okay, so now we can give all the qualifiers now that the whole table's gone around. So can you guys explain to me the logic of when you're asked the question, would you rather be trapped in the middle of the forest with a bear or a man? You say the bear, but then when asked if you were trapped in the forest with a bear and a man came along to give you help out of the forest, that you would ask the man for help. Can you explain that to me? I really would like to understand the logic.
I don't think I even answered actually. The first time around, I just said I've seen a bear. So I don't.
Just drinking a high life. Yeah, later on, we probably won't get to it, but there's a super chat or some dude says, "I've been matching you drink for drink, Andrew. You must have an iron liver." I was like, "Fuck, did he get drunk on here?" If they're scared, like the last part of the question, so it doesn't follow. Yeah.
You said you would prefer the bear because you've seen him, and that you know how to deal with them because you're an experienced hiker and stuff.
I don't know if I'd say that. I don't know. I think being trapped with another person is obviously probably preferable, just because you can have help, like building shelter, whatever, finding water, whatever you can, and then.
Yeah, it's just like Naked and Afraid.
If you're trapped in the woods, they're pretty much always with the bear. That's their home.
Okay.
That's where they
Okay.
live. So.
And then next gal, can you tell me why you would do that in contrast to your own logic? I'm just curious.
I think that it would just be out of desperation. Like in that sense, like it wouldn't be who's more dangerous or whatever the argument is supposed to be. It would just be a matter of like, oh my God, there's a bear over
I
there.
think Big Bad Mama has a video of Andrew Wilson chain smoking. And yeah, he's pretty bad.
And we're two humans and that's a bear. I don't think it's not on the basis of gender.
Well, I didn't say it was on the basis of gender, but can you understand that it's really, really strange to me to hear if you're asked, would you rather be trapped in the forest with a man or a bear? And then when you say a bear, I say, and if you were trapped with a bear and it hadn't even shown signs of aggression, but you hadn't approached it because it could, and a man came by, would you ask for help? You say yes. You see why that sounds absurd to me?
No.
No, well, because in contrast to this, you're basically trusting a man the same exact way to help you get out of this situation. But if you were put in the situation with a man, you would not expect a man to help you get out of the situation. It makes no sense.
In that sense, first of all, this isn't really a logic game, so I don't want to necessarily approach it 100% with logic. I think that there's some legitimacy to approach the situation with emotion, because I think everyone would be kind of scared. I think in this situation, you would be trusting a man to protect you against a bear, as opposed to trusting yourself to make the decision against whether or not you're going to choose the man or the bear.
Yeah, so then why wouldn't you prefer to be trapped with the man instead of the bear if your assumption is that the man's going to protect you from the bear?
Well, I guess you could say that I could approach the man when I saw the bear and have to trust that he's not going to attack me too, but like, I guess then it's just kind of a lesser of two evils.
How? Well, but then why wouldn't you prefer to be trapped with a man over a bear if you're hoping that the man would extract you from being trapped with a bear?
I don't know which situation you're presenting here. Is it you alone and there's one or the other, or both at the same time?
Yeah, if it's you alone or there's one or the other, you could be trapped with a bear, you could be trapped with a man. You prefer to be trapped with a bear. However, in the situation where you are trapped with a bear, you would still, if a man was coming by, request his aid in making sure that you could get out of being trapped with a bear. That's nonsensical. It makes no sense. It's completely irrational.
Humans don't always behave rationally.
Yeah, but when they don't behave rationally, shouldn't they behave rationally?
Not necessarily.
You think that human beings should behave irrationally?
We're not robots. Like, it's not like
should
we're
I try to
calculating the
put a
logic every
spare
time we
tire
make a
on my car?
decision. Like, do you always behave rationally?
Yes.
100% all the time.
Bullshit.
Yes.
You've never gotten emotional and, like, made a rash comment or anything like that?
Just because I'm emotional doesn't mean I become irrational. But
Bullshit.
Is OnlyFans now virtual dating? I don't think so. But I don't know. I've never used it. I don't know. I carry a gun. So bear or man F around. People still virtually date? Yes. They're really talking to the guys.
my knowledge, I've never become irrational. It's possible, perhaps, that I have had too much to drink at certain points in my life or something like this, where I've lost my faculties. But yes, when I'm in my normal state of mind, I don't believe that I become irrational, no.
I don't think you talk too much.
I mean, I don't know. I don't think that irrationality is something that generally people strive towards.
I just think you're kind of oversimplifying the human experience by saying that, like, you know, you're a perfectly rational being and all these things would just innately make sense to you. Like, there's plenty of evidence that people make quote-unquote illogical decisions, by your definition, all the time.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean that they should.
Well, I don't think that humans should or shouldn't behave. No one wakes up in the morning and says, I'm going to behave illogically.
Yeah, I know, so they shouldn't do that then.
I like that you wake up every morning and decide that you're going to behave logically. That doesn't mean that you will.
Yeah, but I should.
Well,
right?
Okay, everyone should, sure.
Right, that's my whole point. So if everybody should,
Actually,
then just,
you know, that was a pretty good point, though. Yeah. Nobody wakes up in the morning and says, you know what, I'm just going to be as irrational and illogical as possible today. That's what I'm going to do. OF has what they call a girlfriend experience? What?
saying that, hey, not everybody does, isn't really much of an argument because we still
It's
agree
funny,
that they
like
should.
I've, some of these Instagram and Facebook pages they're recommending me now, it'll be something like that. Like the girl will sit down in the passenger seat and they've got it's like POV on the camera, so it's like it looks like the girl's like getting in your car and giving you a kiss and like, you know, saying something sweet to you or something. So it's like POV girlfriend. I'm like, are they serious with this shit? Yes, they are. They're totally serious.
So when we have these scenarios and you kind of give me an irrational, logical basis for why it is that you choose A over B, shouldn't that question your foundations? Shouldn't you question your own foundations then in your own emotions to think, well, wait a second, perhaps I'm behaving irrationally and I shouldn't do that. By your own admission, you should not behave irrationally, right?
Like I see your point, sure, but I don't know. I don't think that I like have necessarily like the strongest motivation to like perfectly behave rationally at all times. I always think that there's like a better, like an answer that's better explained by the context in that situation.
I mean, what? What is she talking about? She's trying to justify behaving irrationally? I mean, it's like, I'm not saying, oh my goodness. I'm not legally married. Thanks for reiterating that talk.
There could be answers which are better explained in the context of the situation, but they would be rational answers, right?
You really like this word rational. Do you have any others?
Do you prefer logical?
I just,
mean, it seems
you
like
just
the
seem
word.
What do you mean when you say you cursed your love life? See, I was thinking that too. I thought my ex cursed me because she was a witch, but yeah, I don't know. Now she's dead, so I don't know if the curse still exists or.
Emotional. Do you know any others?
Sure. I just.
Yeah, sure.
I just
The
think
girl
you
in
seem
blue
really
got
stuck on
up
the
to
idea
go
of
pee
logic.
again. She must be getting drunk. She gotta be getting drunk.
And like I just don't think that this is really an argument about logic unless you're trying to prove a point about, you know, women.
Oh, it's illogical, yeah.
About women
That's my
supposedly
point.
thinking it's illogical to fear being alone in the woods with a man.
Well, it seemed to be by your own logic that it's an irrational fear if you would still allow a man to extract you out of a situation with a bear, why you wouldn't just want to be trapped with a man to begin with. That seems totally irrational. It's essentially the same scenario. You just remove one item and suddenly the entire situation changes and there's really no reason for it to change. It doesn't really make any sense.
One name, curse will be gone.
You're both still strangers in this scenario. You're both still men in this scenario. You're still actually technically trapped with both of them in this scenario, but you would still.
You're right. It's so
preference of the bear.
different though because like if there's a bear and a man, it's like a whole different situation. Because like what man in the right mind is gonna still think about like SAing you while there's a bear right there? Like that's like.
Well, couldn't he
that's
just take
how
out
she
the
said
bear
it's
and then
two
get
humans,
you?
one bear at that point.
That's what I'm saying is that
it's
there's
not
two
man,
threats at this
woman,
point, it's not
bear.
just one.
It's just two humans. That like that's why we're choosing that option because it's just like those two humans against the bear is like way better logically.
Yeah, I know. But if that's the case, then why would you choose the bear to begin with? That makes no sense logically.
Well, but if you're alone with only the man, that is scarier than you are with both. You have more chances to just face. I guess the bear would be, if you want to like say it, it's a greater evil because you can't really communicate and say like, please don't attack me. But still, is much like, as a woman, safer to just like not be alone with a stranger and that stranger being also a male, like a full man. Like.
But yeah, if you were, by your own admission, to ask a stranger who is a man for help and assistance because you were trapped with a bear, you're essentially putting the same trust in him as if you were trapped with him.
Because he would also probably be scared of the bear. So he would probably put his life first instead of
He's trying
thinking
to
of
say that
anything
it's
else.
contradicting to your answer because
Well, he doesn't
if you
even
would
know
ask
if
a
the bear is
man,
there, right? He doesn't even know because you're asking him for help.
Presumably.
Doesn't even know about it.
If you guys asked Pop a question, I said yes with no intention of getting married. Oh my goodness. Why? Yeah, why would you say yes to that? That's one of my upfront things. I tell people like I'm not doing marriage. If I was gonna do marriage, well, I don't know. I guess I'm at the right age for it now, but I still don't believe in it. Even if I were to do it, it would be like a half-assed, disingenuous thing. What if the bear had a gun? Ah, yeah. Well, that's yeah. Okay. I feel you, Miss Iman. Yeah, I mean, we all have to live with our mistakes, right?
Bear, why
Bear
is
is
he gonna
irrelevant to
attack
him,
you?
but you would ask him for help to extract you from the situation that's putting your hand or your life in the hands of a strange man.
Using your own words, it would be more rational for the man to be afraid of the bear compared to me.
Just Gerald donated $200. I just like. You know like. We should just like. I don't know like. Like a human like isn't like. I just like. Don't want to be wrong like.
It's literally my
Yeah,
English.
no, I
It's
agree.
literally my
I
English.
think
I
that
sound.
there's the possibility that a man would be less afraid of a bear than you would be. But the point of the question is to ask you who you would prefer to be trapped with, a strange man or a bear. And the answer is a bear, but you would still put your trust in a strange man who you did not know to extract you from the situation of being with a bear. That's where...
Not now, but here we are. What, you mean marriage? I'm guessing you mean marriage? I thought you were married. Never mind. Maybe I'm just getting confused.
It becomes irrational to me, where I lose the plot. I don't understand anymore. Because it seems like you're just doing the same exact thing.
Do you guys get what he's saying or no?
I just want to like backtrack into so the second scenario. We are there. We are in a bad situation. There is a bear that we are aware of, and this strange man doesn't know, and we can ask him for help.
Yeah.
And the bear's like not doing anything, it's just there.
Yeah, it has not overtly shown signs of aggression to you, being trapped with it yet. You haven't approached it. You haven't done any of that. You've been hiding from the bear, which I assume you would probably hide from a bear. I don't assume that you would approach it because none of you seem like you're stupid, right? You wouldn't approach a wild bear, would you?
No, I'm not like Mowgli.
No, you're not approaching a wild bear. So you have not approached this wild bear. You've been hiding from it. You see a man. He's in the forest. He's got a rifle, so he's walking through the forest. He's by himself. You're in the middle of nowhere. You're otherwise trapped. Would you ask him for help?
I'll keep hiding from both.
So you would stay trapped with the bear rather than ask him for help?
I think
So in order to be logically consistent, you would stay trapped with a bear in the middle of a forest rather than ask a man who you did not know for help to get you out of the situation of being trapped with a bear in the forest.
Yeah. I just want to point out, I'm pretty sure if you were like in the vicinity of a bear, they'd be able to smell you, right? They're fucking predators. I don't think there's a scenario where you're going to successfully be hiding from the bear, but I guess for the sake of argument, whatever.
Like, that's rational either?
Well, it's not a rational situation. It's not a rational scenario.
It is a
It's
rational
hypothesis,
situation.
but sure.
In fact, I can give you one such situation where something similar to this happened, absent a bear. You can look this up. I just did the other night when this came up because it had triggered a memory about this. There was a woman, her plane went down over the Amazon, and it was in the Amazon rainforest, and it crashed, and it broke her arm badly, and she was wounded badly. And she was trapped in the Amazon following the water for 5 days, totally wounded. She thought she was going to die, and guess who she asked for help? You'll never guess.
Oh, was it a man?
She came across a hut with 2 men, and she went into the hut and laid down and begged them for help. Begged them, please. And, of course, they didn't trap her and SA her, these Amazonians. They went and got her help after they patched her up, of course, and got her out of there. And then she made a full recovery. It's quite an amazing story. It's very, very rare that such a thing happens, but it does happen. Such things do actually happen. So it's not really an irrational scenario. It's a good thought exercise that maps onto reality. So I just want to ask you one more time. You would hide from the man and stay trapped with the bear. I just want to make sure that that's your answer.
So I have actually something that maybe you would like some evidence.
Hang on.
or
Just
something
want to
like
answer real quick.
Give
You
your
would
answer.
stay...
Switch it, Nick.
Yeah, I think that was a beautiful.
Crazy. Yeah, what if the bear had a gun? It's just hard to add someone into the mix with kids. Yeah, I hear that. I know what you mean. Never been married. Me either.
Story, and that's very nice. Very glad that
Yeah,
happened.
a lot of people, when I tell them about the kids, even though they're not with me, it's still a deal breaker. Makes it rough.
But I would probably hide. I'd just be scared in general.
Yeah, you would stay trapped rather than ask for help from me. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Can I
Anyway.
give like a little more realistic of a situation? So say you're like at a bar or at a club, how much more likely is it when everyone's intoxicated that you get SA'd as a woman? I think a lot more likely, and it's a more real situation. I think that's kind of what women are trying to speak up against these days.
What in the world does that have to do with this scenario?
Well, I'm just saying if we're being more realistic about the scenarios that happen today for college girls or girls in their 20s or early 30s when they go to bars and clubs, yes, you could avoid the situation and not put yourself in that space, but it does happen a lot.
Yeah, but what in the world would that have to do with this scenario? I still don't understand. I understand that you're saying in a situation where
as to why
you're a
women
young woman
feel
who's at a club or something like this, you should be very cautious about
I'm just
having
saying
your drink
this
spiked.
is why women feel intimidated by men, you know, because they've had experiences like that. And I picked man, and I would ask for help.
I get it. I understand that, but I'm not sure how that maps onto being trapped with a bear in the wilderness. I'm not sure how that maps on at all.
I'm not referring.
Oh, yeah. Spooky said it first. Second wife for drugs and alcohol and piggybacks and I don't know, love, maybe sex, I don't know. Yeah, that'd be a plus, huh? It's a deal breaker for me now. I'm getting a ring. If not, don't boss me around. She's the type that will first die in a horror movie, yes.
To that situation, I'm saying let's put ourselves in a more realistic situation because most of us don't go out hiking.
You mean change the entirety of the hypothetical?
Right, but I'm just saying that this is where it's coming from. A lot of women have had those experiences.
Because so let me get this right. So because some women have their...
That's great.
Drink spiked in bars and get SA'd, that means they shouldn't ask for help if they were ever in the wilderness trapped with a bear?
No,
Does that make sense to you?
That's not what I'm saying at all. I'm saying the reason...
That's why you should stick with the premise of the hypothetical, because otherwise we're going to end up with all kinds of absurd conclusions, right?
It's not an absurd conclusion. It's what happens these days. If you're wondering why these women would pick bear over man, it's probably because they've had an experience where a man has assaulted them in one way or another.
Let us assume for a moment that you had been assaulted by multiple men, okay, which I'm sure has happened to all sorts of different women. Why in the world would that make it more or less rational to trust a man you do not know if you're in a situation where you were trapped with a bear? Can you make that make sense for me?
Here, go ahead.
Wait, well, I believe the question is directed to you.
Okay, say that one more time. Why it would...
even assuming that a woman had been many times SA'd under the circumstances that you're talking about, which is horrific. Can you explain to me why that would make it more rational for her to not request that a strange man aid her that she did not know if she was trapped with a bear in the forest? Why would that be suddenly a more rational decision? I don't understand.
I don't think I ever said it'd be a more rational decision. I just think that some women have a hard time trusting men because of experiences that they've had in their life. That's really
So then it's irrational. So then it would be irrational still. Even if that had happened. So even if I grant the entire premise of why you feel that way, it still would not be rational to not request aid from a strange man if you were trapped in the wilderness with a bear. Right?
Yeah, I've never disagreed on that.
Yeah, so it would still be irrational. So I still don't even understand the premise then. It's what she's saying is irrational. It makes no sense.
I got a couple questions on this, and then we'll move on to a new topic. Nick, feel free to share that one, and then I'll read a couple chats here. So, does it change anything if you're sitting with a location being forest? Would your answer change if it was just a room, a 10 by 10 room? Would you rather be in a room, 10 by 10 room, with a bear, or a random man, randomly selected man? So it could be a man who would be inclined to murder you, or it could be I'm sure you guys have all met good, decent men. Could be a good, decent man too. More likely to be. Anyways, I shouldn't preempt that, but which do you pick if you're in a room?
The man. I don't want to be in a room with a bear.
This is a totally absurd hypothetical. I'm just gonna say, like, for probably every chick in this room, as far as I could tell, I'm just gonna guess that they're all full of shit, and they would all go with the man if they were really in any type of situation like this. Like, they're all would probably be terrified to be in the woods alone in the first place. You have 4 wives if you become a Muslim. Talk says you have 3 wishes.
Like, I think that one, I think it does change it because, like, the woods is totally different than, like, an enclosed space. So, yeah, I don't know if I could really pick one. I think that I just wanted to speak on one last thing. I think that when we talk about, like, it would be so irrational for someone to not want to be in the woods with a man as opposed to a bear, there's the idea of the availability heuristic, where the things that are the most salient in your mind will end up, like, determining the logic that someone has in that situation. So we hear a lot more about, like, men potentially assaulting women, and sure, we hear about bear attacks too, and so people would be likely to be afraid of that. Like, the classic example is like an airplane crash. Like, people are afraid of flying on airplanes, even though statistically it's not likely to happen. So statistically, I may have miscalculated and said that 20% of men were likely to attack me. That's not logical at all. But you could root it in the logic of the availability heuristic.
Well, there is no such thing as a logic of availability. Logic is not like kung fu. Your kung fu is not better than my kung fu. There is only one kung fu in this situation. There's only one logic. There is not different forms of it. There's just one form of it. So the same thing with rationality. Rationality would be if you're saying something which maps onto logic or not. And so if you're saying something which is irrational, it's not logical. It makes no sense. It doesn't map onto it. So it's not like kung fu where you can say my kung fu, my logic better than your logic. There is only one logic.
Okay, if that's the way that you want to interpret logic, then.
No. That's the only way.
That's
It's like
your way.
math. Okay, here. Let me demonstrate it for you, so that you know that I'm
It's
telling
like
you the
he's
truth.
live. All right, see you, Zyrex.
Can 2 plus 2 ever not equal 4?
Like, if I were to like think about the logic of math, maybe there's someone who could come
No.
up
Can
with
2 plus 2 ever not equal 4?
Are the rules of math probably not? I don't know. Do you guys?
And the rules of math would be an extension of logic, right?
Well, life isn't exactly like math.
Unless there was missing
Yeah,
information.
but
like
I just want to
2
make sure that we're
3s plus 2
clear
3s might
that
not be 4.
there can be no your math, my math, right? There cannot be a.
Unless there was missing
you have a math
information.
where 2 plus 2 does not equal 4.
90% of women would probably attack bears trying to pet it or cuddle.
And I have
Look
a
at the
math.
cute bear. You know, most of the time, I think that when bears attack, it's because you get in proximity of their cubs. It's the mother bear.
2 plus 2 does equal 4. 2 plus 2 has to equal 4, right?
Unless there's missing information,
What?
because 2 plus 2, if there's missing information in the middle.
What do you mean? No, it literally,
2
there is no,
3s
what
plus
missing
2
information?
3s. If there's missing
The question is,
information,
2 plus 2 equals 4.
Yeah.
So what would be an example of missing information?
That would be like
2 plus 2 plus 3?
No, that would be if
2 plus parentheses 2 times 2 parentheses plus 2 equals 4?
That would be it. Would be illogical if you were.
Into
talking-
my
Is he doing algebra
Yes.
now?
So 2 plus 2 could not equal 4 only if there was missing information.
What missing information?
If the 2
Give us
was
an example.
okay, if the 2 was referring to another group. So if you're saying
So A plus B equals 4.
No.
Okay, so what's... Sorry, go ahead. Okay, I'm sorry. It's just, I've never heard this before. So please just try to explain.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. 2 plus 2 always equals 4 if you don't have any missing information.
But
But
what-
if you
Okay,
have missing information,
So assuming that you have all the information, I understand what you're saying. You're saying that
Yes.
2 could be a representative of some other category that is not 2, right? But if 2 is a representative of some other category which is not 2, then it is no longer 2, correct?
then then it's no longer 2.
Yeah,
but
but it's no longer the same question. So assuming
That's
that
true,
the
but I
category
think
2
talking to her point, what she's saying is that there's missing information. When you guys talk about this question about man versus bear, there's missing information. Like, you guys are putting it up to like make fun of women for feeling like bad about feeling scared of a man. That's what I hear when I hear the question. You
Yeah, but
know.
that's just
And,
feelings.
okay,
That's
well,
not-
I'd like to
not the
finish
intent.
if it's possible. So I think that. You know, women were taught from a young age. Like in middle school, I was shown a video about all the things that men could do to you. Like they could go into your cars and slash your Achilles heel.
Yeah, hang on. Before we get into this, though, and I'll let you make your point because I want you to be able to. Can we get back to this idea that 2 plus 2, there's some scenario where 2 plus 2 is not going to equal 4?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so
Two
you
groups
agree with
of
me that
3
there's
would
no,
not equal 4.
Hang on, that there's no scenario where if you understand that 2 represents 2 1s and another 2 represents 2 1s,
Mm-hmm.
that it is impossible to add 4 1s together and not get 4.
I
Correct?
agree. Without any missing information, I agree. But I'm,
Okay, so then
I'm
it can't be.
comparing
It
it
can't
to
be.
her.
Hang on. So then, hang on. I just want to make sure we're clear. So then it can't be her math versus my math. That's why I was making or trying to get her to understand. There's only one way to do logic because there's laws which govern logic, just like there's laws which govern mathematics. That's my point.
Yes.
So in one add-on question here. In a scenario where you're presented with 2 plus 2, what would be the
They're
scenario?
going all over the place with this, but I think it's a good time to point out that what she was just saying, like all of those bad things that a man could potentially do to a woman, if you think about it, like any physically stronger woman could do all of those same things to another woman except for one. Except for there's only one thing that a man can do to a woman that another woman can't do to her, right? Like,
there could ever be quote unquote missing information from an equation.
Mm-hmm. So that would be if 2 was referring to an amount. So if you're like, you know, in school we're learned that it's ones, like how Andrew said 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1. But 2 could be referring. No,
like 1 2 plus 1 plus 1
plus
She's
1
making
plus 1
Brian's making a category here. So what she's saying is she's saying you could have 2 as a representative of something which is not 2 1s.
Yes. We're taught in school
Wait,
that
okay.
2 is represented by
Nick,
2 ones.
can you pull up a tab? Can you pull up a tab?
are we going on a math tangent?
Nope, just a
Blue
blank
dress
notepad.
is up again.
And then
This is
just
the
write
third
2
time in an hour and a half.
2 plus 2.
He's going to the bathroom like every 30 minutes.
Yeah, well, a calculator is going to always be in the 1s and 10s, just like we're taught in
Are you
school.
talking about like X and Y, A and B?
No. I'm talking about 1s and 10s. I think Andrew knows what I'm talking about.
Is she making sense, Andrew? Because I'm not following at all.
I'm trying to be as charitable to this as I possibly can, so I just want to make sure I got it clear. I think that what you're saying, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, that you can utilize the representation of the number 2 to refer to information that has nothing to do with 2 1s, correct?
Yes.
Okay, got it. That you can do, but then the value 2 no longer represents what we're saying when we say 2, right?
Yes.
Okay, so you can do that, but it's just kind of meaningless ultimately to the question of 2 plus 2
well, I
equals
also
4.
feel like we're doing the thing with the man versus bear where it's becoming to that point too where we're like,
Say forward women. seems spooky. I feel like Pepe Le Pew.
You know, you're trying to like put someone down for feeling like they're scared of a man.
I think where they're going with it, it's not really anything like that.
I think there is, like, you know, it's going around, like, an irrational fear of men. It's true. And, like, women, like I've noticed this, like, more and more frequently. Like, they won't make eye contact with you when you're, like, you know, passing each other on the sidewalk, which is just, like, again, really strange to me. And I've heard that, you know, it's specifically because there's, like, this fear that, like, any acknowledgement could be interpreted as, like, a signal or something, which is just super strange to me. Like, I can differentiate between somebody being, like, courteous or pleasant with me and flirting with me, especially in passing on the street. Like, who's gonna, I mean, I don't know.
If you, for some reason, were stuck somewhere, would you rather be with someone that could help you, possibly, or with a bear that they're in nature, they don't have any instinct of helping you or getting you out of there?
I agree that that's the question, but
I'm still trying to fight on the other side. I'm just watching Pepe Le Pew. Yeah. Seen that in a while. Oh yeah, didn't he get canceled too or something?
Intention of the question when you talk about it in a group like this, like, you're trying to look at women and say, like, oh, isn't that funny that you're afraid to be alone with a man?
No,
I think it is. That's what I hear. That's what I hear to her. You're saying, like, oh, haha, like, no, it is. I don't.
Because I agree with your view. So hang on, let me be charitable to your view. I also think that the intent of the question is to get to something deeper. That's what you're saying here, right? The intent of the question is to get at something deeper. But that's what I'm doing with the logical cross-examination, is trying to see if when we go deeper, if this makes less sense or more sense. You say that that's to laugh at you, but I think that it's not to laugh at you, but it's to make a determination as to what is rational and true versus what's based purely on emotion. And so that's not shaming you.
Is it rational?
Isn't it the opposite of shaming you to say, listen, I'd like to rationally go through this to see if this actually makes sense, and I'm going to treat you as a peer while we do that. That seems like the opposite of shaming.
Yeah, well, you did that to her, and now I think it's time to move on. I mean, he did that to her.
I don't think he was trying to, like, shame her or anything. I think he was just
like, personally, I don't feel shamed. I just don't think that you were really trying to understand my point. It came off like you were trying to look at this as a logic game when we all know that it's not.
It is.
Like,
it is.
It's like, well, like, I think that the point is that, like, I don't see this whole scenario as necessary in the same way that you do, and that's fine. I just think that obviously you were trying to get at something deeper, and people were trying to explain that from their own experience, from emotion, or whatever it is that you think is superficial in this sense, or I don't know exactly how you're viewing it. I just think that in this situation, that's where people were coming from, and the idea of trying to boil it down to just a logic game is aside from the point.
How else can we make determinations about whether or not something's a rational fear or an irrational fear, or something makes sense or it doesn't make sense, unless we use logic and we use some way to probe this from some changing standard, which logic would be, to make a determination as to whether or not, hey, there could just be a mass delusion going on here. Perhaps you do think these things from the position of how you feel. That's fine. I'm not saying you can't feel that way. I'm just saying it could be irrational that you feel that way. And so like, how am I supposed to discuss it with you if you just shut down and say, but I hate that logic stuff because all that matters is how I feel? Doesn't that seem, again, irrational?
I think that it's just a sensitive topic, so people get heated over it.
Wait, you were going to come in on something?
Yeah, I was just gonna comment on the whole rationality thing. Like, I think her point is, like, this doesn't have anything to do with, like, rationality, because it's like putting on a seatbelt. Like, you put on your seatbelt just because, like, in case. It's like in case situation. Like, you're not gonna choose the man in case something were to happen. It's not because we're like, oh, there's like this percentage that it's gonna happen to me today. Today's
wrong. You put on your seatbelt because it's the law and you've been taught to use it since you were a child. There's a reason they had to implement seatbelt laws, because, as intuitive as it may seem, most people still don't want to wear their seatbelts. A lot of people still don't.
today, like, if I choose the man, it's gonna, like, no one's thinking about.
So I mean, just saying along those lines. Spooky says, if these guys could shut up for 2 minutes, perhaps the women could explain what they mean instead of just guessing at what they mean. True. Well, I just don't think they came in really prepared to argue this point. Which, you know, most of them don't. Like, when they come on this podcast, they're not really ready to debate. Interestingly enough, I'm like, do they know what they're getting into? Because they've been doing this for a while now. Todd says, I wonder how many think that dude wants to have sex with me equals great somehow. Yeah. And there's, like, you know, there's two sides of that coin, because I hear a lot of women say, that a guy needs to be more assertive, needs to be more aggressive. But then on the flip side of that, you always hear how this, I just want guys to stop looking at me. I want guys to stop talking to me. It's like, unless it's the one guy that you actually want to look at you and talk to you, then you want him, you know, to be more aggressive, right? How is every other dude in the world supposed to read your mind and know that he's not that dude, you know?
In that way, it's just like.
Can I ask you a question? So,
but then, hang on. I get it, but wouldn't that be irrational then?
$100.
Irrational.
As a female, I will be honest and say that this bear versus man debate is just a low-key way for us women to remind you men that we hate you and or have a low-level contempt towards your gender. F you.
I mean, I do actually think that's what it is. There's no, it's not rational, it's not logical. It's simply social signal.
Oh, that's so good. That was good.
About how much women either don't like men or how they feel. This is a perception, how they feel. They are unsafe around men.
The reason I think this, I just want to give you my
This is the
perspective real
thing.
quick.
They feel unsafe around men. It's always like in certain crowds, in certain situations, of course. And it's usually going to be strangers, right? Stranger danger. Hello. Right? But that's just like fucking common sense. Like, you're going to be nervous around strangers, right? You don't know what they're going to do. Like, and common sense dictates that, you know, women shouldn't go out with strange men by themselves, right? Logic. Oh, welcome back, Missing Mod. I didn't know you were gone. But like this whole like, oh, if I encounter them in the street,
turn it back over, right?
Christ, man.
I think that people could put themselves, especially women, in much greater danger by only appealing to their emotion instead of refusing to appeal to logic, rationality, but rather just appealing to emotion. I think that's a way that people put themselves in much higher categories of danger. So when I'm assessing this, I think, well, maybe you're also doing something which is horrible for you, and you don't even realize that you're doing something which is horrible for you. You know what I mean? How can I make those assessments as to whether or not you're even doing what's in your own best interest if I can't rationally analyze it? If I have to just go off of your emotions.
You had something?
I was just gonna say, logically, are you scared of something that's bigger than you, that's stronger than you? Us as women, we are weaker to men, so I think it is a little bit of a survival instinct just to be on the lookout. I mean, if we're talking about rationality,
and again,
logic,
like that's this argument. I mean, there are bigger, stronger women too. Like there's, so I mean, that can't be your only criteria. Does that make sense? That's why men and women need each other. We have different things that fit good together. True that. True that.
I'm not saying, no, I'm not saying that all men are bad and will hurt you. I think most men want to help and protect, but I'm saying logically, if you're stronger than me.
Yeah, but the question that you asked is, isn't it logical to be afraid
Did they
of things
design this pig to fit in this hole? I think they did.
They're bigger and stronger than you. Well, then by that logic, men should be afraid of many other men, right?
Right. So like if you're in a fight, for example, and the guy is way bigger than you, aren't you going to be a little bit more nervous to fight him, for example?
Yeah, so that would be rational. So in this particular case, then, what's bigger, a man or a bear?
Are we still on this? I thought we were just talking about men.
Can we talk about
yeah,
that?
no, but I'm following your logic.
Can we talk about who attacks more women?
Because if the logic is, if something is bigger and stronger, you should be more afraid of it. And I agree with you that that's true. Then we would immediately default to the bear being way bigger and stronger than a man, so we should be way more afraid of it, right?
Absolutely, but I'm just saying if you're talking about logical and why women are afraid of men, well, it's because you guys are bigger. It's because you guys are faster. Some might even say that you guys are smarter because we act on emotions more. So of course we're going to be a little afraid, right?
So like, let's just grant that, fine, a bunch of women, you're scared of men are scary. Let's grant it. Even if that were the case, it's still the suboptimal choice, just logically, that it would be a bear. To pick a bear, it's still...
Absolutely, I agree.
Okay, I don't even know what you're arguing about then.
No, but you guys were saying
let me bring it back to this. I was asking, would you rather be in a room with a man or a bear? And I was waiting for your answer. You didn't really give one.
Yeah, because in the first example, they were like in the woods, and it's like, but now you're trapped in a room. Okay, yeah.
Argument's sake, a man.
I'll stick with my bear from the beginning.
Still would
I'll
rather
stick
be in
with
a
my
room
bear, sure.
with a bear. Okay.
It's equal chances.
She's still going with the bear.
It's equal chance for what?
Well,
to be attacked?
50-50. They're going to be either crazy or they're going to be fine. It's either going to be
wait, 50% of men would attack you in that situation?
Not 50%, but like this is a random stranger.
Yeah,
it's
random
like
stranger.
they're either going to be, let's say, normal, saying and not attack me, or they will.
So it's a coin toss
Yeah.
when it comes to men.
And to
So
the bear as
50-50.
well. Either the bear will be fine and just like sitting.
But in order for that to be true, you have to say that 50% of men would attack you.
Well, you never know. It's a coin toss every time.
No, but
it's a stranger. It's stranger danger. Like that could be any person.
yeah,
That's
but
how
50%
I like.
of men would not. I mean, maybe that's your position.
Yeah.
50% of men would
Not like
attack you.
a stranger. Even if it's like the whole male population, I don't know the whole male population. 50-50, I don't know what's gonna happen.
But
are you more likely to be assaulted by a stranger or by a member of your family statistically?
Family member. That was easy. If we both had all the qualities, we wouldn't need each other. And the weakest man can be the strongest woman on a good day. Oh, can beat the strongest woman on a good day. Men are much stronger. I don't think that's the case. There's some big ass bodybuilder chicks out there. They whip my ass. I know that for a fact.
Or by somebody you know.
Somebody
I don't know the statistics, to be honest.
Somebody, it's not only by somebody you know, it's overwhelmingly somebody you know. It's almost every case is somebody you know. It's very rare for strangers to actually assault people that they don't know. It's actually very rare. I just letting.
Room, man or bear?
Man.
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 Still bear. just because I don't.
Yeah, you're more likely to be SA'd or murdered by somebody close to you. That's the facts.
If I'm gonna get killed by the bear, that's okay.
Versus surviving with a man?
Yeah.
You'd rather be killed by a bear than live with, like,
No,
you're not
that's
stuck in the room. Let's say you're in the room for 30 minutes, an hour with
No,
this.
that's not. I just don't like. It could be a woman. It could be a woman in the.
So, what? You'd rather be in a room with a bear than a woman for 30 minutes?
Yeah.
Are you trolling?
No,
There's
not
no
at
way this is. Do you have a death wish?
No.
Well, clearly you do. If you were actually, let's assume this was a situation you were actually faced with. Say it was a, I don't know, fucking TV show or some shit. Man or bear. Okay, you have two doors. One leads you to a room with a bear. One leads you to a room with a woman. You're picking the bear?
Yeah.
Are you like thinking of harming, like self-harming?
No, not at all. Not at all.
Do you have thoughts of like?
No. I mean, I work with large animals. So it's not
She's just, for the sake of argument, I'm a large animal fan, so I'm always going to choose the bear. I like her.
Would you rather be in a room with a woman who you know for
See,
like
she's kind of
is, like,
scary.
a
Look at
total
the size of
pacifist?
her arms, though. She looks like she could handle herself.
Or like a bear who you know is going to kill you. Which room do you pick?
Well, obviously, if I know it's gonna kill me, I'd pick the woman. But it's not guaranteed that the bear is gonna.
Let's say it's a 50% chance that the bear attacks you. I can't believe what I'm fucking hearing. I'm sorry. This is like.
But I also think.
Actually,
does she have
I
braces?
should just let you answer, but.
Not that it matters, but it just brings credibility down. You let them whip your ass. Yeah.
Which one do you pick?
Bear.
Even a woman. I mean, I can't believe my ears. I cannot believe my ears.
I just.
What about, okay, Grizzly Bear.
Grid 1 Motorsports donated $200. It is rare to see so much grouptopia.
I'm gonna read
The
some
derangement required to think random men want to hurt you is delusional and literally stupid. Please Frank Castle the entire panel and start over.
Thank you.
You know what else is deranged though, and what takes a lot of derangement? To
What's
spend $200 just to say that.
I don't think you want to invoke his wrath.
I do. I really do.
Is it the same
All
person?
right, okay. We have a chat here from Soulfist. Can we have you read this one?
Oh God,
Yeah,
wait,
hold
where
on.
is it?
Go ahead. There it is.
So sad to see these women think that a man's first instinct would be to attack them. If a man is trapped in the woods, then he's trying to survive just like you. He's not worried about hurting you.
All right. Thank you, Soulfist. Appreciate the message and the patronage, man. And we have.
And, yeah. I think if anything, most men want to, like, you know, if they're straight, they want to, like, impress and attract girls. They're, you know, the natural instinct isn't just to assault women, right? Like, that's. And for those, you know, few people who do, like, right, that's like a sociopathic trait, right? And for other people, maybe it's because they lack in skills to be able to get laid, right? And so rather than like actually practice and hone those skills, they just decide to take the other route, right? Still sociopathic. Christian Carpenter, good morning, good to see you. Dudes giving other dudes money is kind of not cool. And what if it turned out to be a bear in a man suit? Yeah.
Another one that's going to pop up here in just a moment from Blake, 1991. Thank you, Blake. Go ahead.
Hey all, Andrew is a legend. Brian is great. Maddie
thank
is
you, Blake.
gorgeous. And I want, what does that say? Gustavo? Is that
Gustavo.
Gustavo's job. First time donating and love the.
Yo, Blake, thank you, man. Appreciate your first time message. Thank you for the patronage. And we are looking for some more background characters, so you never know if you're in Santa Barbara. You need someone local. So, okay. I don't know. Look, the whole thing, the whole Bear vs. Man thing, I just think it's like, it's basically just like anti-male fear-mongering. Okay, one other, just a few
Can
other.
I say something really quick?
It is, for sure.
quick
Sure,
though?
go ahead.
Like, you know what makes it so much like funnier though? It's the fact that like at first women were just like, oh, I picked the bear, but then it was like the men that were like, oh, she picked the bear over me. She rather be in no, and like then they started like talking about how they want to get like really violent with these women who are picking the bear, and it's like. It's like proving the point. Like that's why she didn't want to pick the bear. Like
So this is one of the worst coping strawmen that I've ever heard. What men are out there saying how much they want to be violent with women who pick the bear?
It's all over Twitter. All over Twitter.
It's not all. Can you show me a single tweet of men being threatening towards women because they would pick the bear? A single one?
How are you gonna ask me to show you something when you guys took my phone?
Yeah. Okay. What's your? I can go to your Twitter. What is your Twitter handle? I'll take a look right now. There's actually men there who are saying that they're going to be violent with you
I
because you
didn't
pick the
retweet
bear.
this, but you can go on my Twitter if you'd like, whichever way. But it's all over my timeline. Yeah.
And men are saying on your timeline that they want to hurt you because you picked the bear.
Not me. Like they're responding to women online who are saying they picked the bear, saying like, "Oh my God, like see, this is why we fucking hate you." Like,
That's not saying that they want to hurt them.
no, they are.
Because
Just search
that's
it
not
up.
saying that
Just
they want
search
to
it
hurt
up
them
if
because
you'd
they picked the bear.
Fact check me. Fact check me.
Do you think it's wrong for men to be upset by women's answers that they'd rather be in the woods with a bear than
I don't
with a
think
man?
it's wrong to be upset, but like if you're gonna get upset and then
Why
start
do you
getting
think men
violent,
are
so-
upset by it? Why do you think?
I feel like the men that are upset are the ones that like place themselves in that shoe of like, I wouldn't do that. But I feel like the man who knows that he wouldn't do that wouldn't even get upset. Like they wouldn't care about this whole issue. Like you don't see a high value man talking about this discourse really.
Oh, okay, let me ask you a question.
True.
So, if a woman,
and that's how you know, like, you won't even respond to certain memes sometimes, simply for that reason. So I mean, it kind of makes sense that women would rather die by an animal than at the hands of a man. What's so wrong with that? They're saying that, you know, they know what the bear's gonna do. It's probably gonna kill him, you know, whatever. Like, but the dude could do all kinds of other stuff. You know, maybe not kill him. I guess, or I don't know. Good morning, Silverwolf. Good to see you.
So you don't see millionaires talking about this discourse. You don't see men who are high-level elite athletes who talk about this. You don't see, for instance, bodybuilders who send out tweets about this because that's all over Twitter. Would you like me to give you some examples?
Of men entertaining this whole discourse with more than a laugh? Yeah, I love it.
Yeah, with more than a laugh, where they say, "Hey, this seems like it's mass delusion."
What do they say?
So
Oh my
that's
God,
what they're. Hang on, I'm trying to answer your question. Calm down. What they're trying to point to is.
Yeah, just don't even address it. I mean, yeah, I understand what his point is. Getting angry over it is obviously. Obviously a mistake, but yeah, I mean, I say just don't even engage with it. Just it's beneath you.
There's a mass delusion which is going on, in that women have become so far removed from nature, the natural order of things, that they believe that due to the pampering that they have in modernity, that they would actually make this choice. But when presented
Hey, Sammy,
with that
good to
actual
see you.
choice,
Love you too, buddy. I'm doing all right. Feeling a certain type of way, you know, but it's all right. I'll get over it. Yeah, distractions.
we don't actually believe that they would. We think that they're basically full of shit. That's what basically what the argument's really about, is whether or not women in modernity are being delusional or not.
So wouldn't you as a man like question what causes that instead of getting mad at the woman?
Go,
themselves?
please, speak into the mic.
Wouldn't you question that? As
Yeah,
like
that's
a-
what I've been doing.
Yeah.
Questioning that.
So where did that lead you to? Were you not able
Well,
to
what
come
it led
to
me to is
conclusions?
that the answers that I get are completely irrational. So I would have to assume that this
Do
is
you
some
need
form
help?
of
'Cause I can help you with some
hang on,
statistics
I'm trying to
since I
answer your
know
question.
you
I
will
just
not.
let you speak. I don't know why I won't return the favor. But anyway, when you ask me the question of what
Is
did I find
Andrew?
out,
Wait,
well,
did
I'm
he
diving
just
into it.
complain about getting talked over? Because he's like one of the worst at that. So
right now, and the answers have been totally irrational. So I have to assume that you're living under some kind of delusion here.
Okay, do you want me to help you out with
actually,
some
I
simple
should say
math?
he's not one of the worst. He's not nearly as bad as Jim Bob or Darth. He's pretty
You can
bad
fact check me
at
again,
interrupting.
Okay, so if you search up the amount of bear attacks, we're going to talk just about the U.S. right now. If you search up the amount of bear attacks in the U.S., it's not that many. You search up the amount of SA attacks, wow. And again, you're going to say, oh my God, it's because there's so many more men than bears. Just do the simple conversion. I don't have to, I haven't, but
Actually, I
someone else
did.
did.
Just so you know.
Yeah.
So let me give you some counterfacts.
Okay.
Do you know what per capita means?
Yeah, I do.
Okay, so do you think that people who are around bears they frequently are around bears for long periods of time, whether they train them, work with them, they're in circuses with them, do you think that their attacks by bears are less than that of women who perhaps are around men all the time in the workplace and things like this?
Well, you're working with a bear at a circus. Yeah, I would think there's a high chance of you getting attacked.
So then what we have discovered by your logic now, and by kind of diving into this a little bit more, is that the reason that there's such an infrequency of bear attacks on people is because people aren't usually around bears. But the people who are around bears tend to get attacked by bears a lot more than women who are around men tend to get attacked by men. So
Yeah,
what you're saying
but-
here actually makes no sense either, does it?
Yeah, but again, in this situation, are we in a circus with a bear or are we in the woods with a bear? You're not
You're in the
talking
woods
about
with a
the
bear, so
percentage
then
of
that's
bear
even better.
attacks in the woods.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's even better. So if you're in the woods with a bear, and you know that per capita, if you're around a bear, you're far more likely to get attacked by the bear than if you're around a man, then wouldn't it be rational to choose the man?
No, but that's where you're wrong. That's where you're way more likely to be attacked by the man.
You're not way more likely to be attacked by
Where's
the man.
the
If you break
stats
it down
for
per
that?
capita, those who spend time with bears get attacked by bears a lot more than
but
those who
we're
spend
talking
time
about
around
the
men.
hike. No, we're talking about the hike again, remember? So where's the stats for
No, it's
being
not a
more
hike.
likely?
The conditions are you're trapped in the woods with a bear. So you're around the bear. You're in the bear's territory. You're around it.
I can't
It's
believe
like
they're
you'd be
still
in a
on
circus,
this.
Just like you would be in
Like,
these.
They've been going over this for a while.
Situations.
That's
You
not
still
the same
choose the
thing as
bear.
you
That
being in
seems
the
highly
proximity
irrational to
of
me.
training a bear at a circus. You cannot compare those two stats. You can't compare stats like that.
Listen, here's the comparison. The comparison is to say that there's lots and lots and lots of women who are around lots and lots and lots of men. You agree that that's true, right?
Yes.
Because of those conditions, because they're around them so much, the chances become significantly increased that there could be an attack on a woman by a man. However, the infrequency of the amount of times that people engage with bears is very low. So, of course, bears and their attacks are going to be far lower than that of men on women. However, if you take it per capita and you look at how many people are around bears in some type of capacity, you find out, oops, you are very likely to get attacked by a bear in some significant way if you're around them, just like if you're around men. That's why that exists that way.
Yeah, but your point is so irrelevant when you're considering the fact that your examples are you being in an unnatural situation with a bear. You at a circus, training a bear, having a bear as a pet, whatever it is that your example is not the same thing as
It doesn't.
you being
Hold on.
in
It doesn't even
natural
have to be.
habitat.
It doesn't even have to be this circus scenario.
That's
When
what
he's saying,
You know,
per capita, it can also be viewed as per encounter. So if you actually make a comparison of human encounters with bears, and you make a comparison to women who are assaulted.
Right. So the amount of times that human beings would be assaulted by these strange animals they come in contact with, which they rarely come in contact with, would be far higher than the amount of men that they come in contact with, which is a daily occurrence all the time, nonstop.
That is
That's the
very
point.
false because again, who reports seeing a bear if they don't get attacked by the bear? So who's to say?
What?
He's saying the stats of just encountering a bear, you get attacked, right? Who's gonna?
I'm
have the
sorry, when
stats
you're talking
how
about
many-
SA statistics, don't most SAs go unreported?
Yeah, so that.
I just want to say, I think, wasn't it like, we extincted like one of the major like North American bears, right? And you know who extincted them? Men. They killed the bears. So we've already been there historically. And he says most men I know in my life are caring, gentle, loving men. Exactly. Oh, thank you. Bears are better than us men. Well, some bears.
SA statistics.
Okay, well
would be
then
even
how do you know
higher.
by that logic that they've actually been SA'd?
Okay, but no, you're actually helping my point because in that case, the SA statistics is even higher than we know. So thank you for that.
Yeah, I know, but if it is higher than we even know, and you're saying that most of them go unreported, then how can we actually know that they were ever SA'd by the same logic of bear attacks, by how many people see bears, but it goes unreported? It's the same logic. You believe the one stat, but won't believe the other.
Because of I'm saying when people see a bear and they aren't attacked, they're not going to report that. That's my case.
Yeah, but I'm
Do you
saying that
understand
women
that?
who have
So
not
when
been
you're
SA'd, that
saying,
would be the
oh,
same
people
logic in
encountered
reverse, though, and you
bears.
believe it, right?
But then you're telling me that there's a stat of when people encountered the bear versus when they got attacked, and I'm saying that doesn't really count because of the fact that they're not reporting all the the encounters of bears when they're not attacked. You get
Ooh, Todd was on with Pine Creek? I gotta check that out. When was this? Why do you think there are no bears in California? Yeah, we hunted them out. Some bears are just pretty chill. Yeah, like Yogi.
my point
Yeah,
or not?
well, I don't, but let us just grant it for a second, just for the sake of argument. It still wouldn't matter if you're around men all the time, and I assume you are in some capacity, right? You're around men all the time in some capacity. Is that true or false? Yeah, it's true. Okay, and most of those men, almost none of those men, try to assault you, right? Maybe some do, but most, the overwhelming majority, probably do not, right? Yeah. So if that's the case, then we can apply this to the more time that you spend with random men, the more likely it is that you're going to get assaulted. We would have to do the same thing with bears. The more time you spend around random bears, the more chance you get assaulted. Which one do you think will assault you quicker? The random bears you spend more time with or the men? That's the question.
The bear.
The bear, exactly. So it's actually irrational for you to say that you would rather be stuck in a forest with a bear. Again,
You know what's so
that's the
irrational? The
point.
fact that there's been how many women who have gone and gave you how much time explaining all this, and you still didn't get the point.
What's the point?
I'm not gonna go ahead and spend all this time.
Well, I just want to let you know he tried to move it on, but you brought it back to this. That's why we're in this engagement again. You actually said, "Can I speak to this again?" And that's why we're back to it again.
That's true.
We were still on the bear. I just went back to my point. We never left the bear.
Right, and then I responded to your point, but you brought
we
the
never left the bear
conversation back, not me.
situation. So I just
Yeah,
continued.
but he's
the
responding
discourse.
to you.
Yeah. And was I supposed to stop responding and just sit back?
Well, no. He said, "I would like to move the conversation on," and you were like, "But wait, can I just make one more point?" Which is fine, but then if you bring it back to this, of course we're going to argue about it again.
Yeah. Valid.
Right?
What was
She
that?
just she wanted to have the last word. Is that what that was? You've never had a shat in the woods? Oh yeah, I've had a couple.
Discussed ad nauseum, and it's
way
it's
more
over.
than us.
It's been over. So next topic.
Well, hold on. I'm the host. If I want to talk about this all fucking night, I will. But two last
Fine.
quick questions on this.
Good to
and
see
we'll
you.
move on.
Yes, they're having this conversation while being in the room with a man. Although they do outnumber the men here. There's like 2 men in the room that we can see on camera, right? I mean, they group up. They can swarm them.
I do find it interesting that a lot of women pick the bear, but I mean, how many of these same women who pick the bear will gladly go over to a strange man's house who she matched with on Tinder, go back to his house after drinking and partying? You guys probably all know girls that meet a guy at some fucking frat party, fuck him that night, all alone. Absolutely no issues there. So it's interesting though, when we put you in this venue that's a bit, in the woods versus some dingy frat house, things change up real quick. So
No, I would say that's concerning either way.
Sure.
Yeah.
So I don't.
Good point. Dun dun dun.
Sure. I mean, I would argue probably, let's be honest, I don't want to put words in your mouth, but probably you guys have at least had one maybe casual sexual encounter
I
with
think
a man.
the main, which I think is the sad point of this whole debate, is how there is this social fear that's, I feel how do I say the words in English, growing up as a girl, we hear that a lot, be aware.
You've been programmed.
And stuff, yeah.
You've been
so I think that is, the biggest part of this debate, how it's that sad thing, how we have been programmed this way by so many scenarios and just things and hearsay and this and that, or a bunch of things.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, there is just fear, irrational or not, because we've been in scenarios that
We
may be
just
similar.
keep
But
restating the same points, though. We've already talked back
it's
and
the
forth.
sad thing at the end.
And I mean, to address your thing about why are all these men so kind of upset about this, isn't it the case that women frequently get upset about sexist statements towards women?
Yes.
Would you at least agree that saying that you would rather be alone with a bear as compared to a man is a sexist statement?
Yeah.
No, because it's more just so saying who wants to be with what. I'm saying I personally rather choose the bear. I'm not saying that every woman should choose the bear. So it's not a sexist statement saying I would choose the bear.
Even on the individual, even on the micro level, you saying you would rather be with a animal who does have tendencies
this
to be
all
violent.
only
This
works
isn't
in hypothetical. Any of these chicks, except that one maybe, the large animal vet, she might actually put her money where her mouth is. But all these chicks, regardless of what they say here, if you give them the option and they're you're actually going to throw them in the room with a strange man or a bear, they're going to choose the strange man. They're not going to go into a room with a bear. It's not going to happen. Okay, Bond. See you later. Thanks for coming by. Sleep well. Wipe my ass on leaves. Oh, yeah, you gotta watch out with those leaves. You gotta use the right ones.
A totally benign animal. Bears are larger than men. They can be very violent. It's not a benign animal. So you don't think it's sexist to say that? So you don't think it would be sexist for me to say I'd rather be with a bear than a woman?
If you have your reasons for that, I wouldn't take offense either way.
But would it be sexist for me to say, for example, let's say this is a woman she's a gold digger. It's not a perfect one-to-one comparison, but I'm making a almost presuppositional judgment about her. Oh, she's a gold digger.
You're asking
this
me
is
if that's
totally
sexist?
not even. Yeah.
No.
It's not sexist to presuppose women are gold diggers?
Oh, you're saying if you say every woman's a gold digger?
Isn't that what you're saying about men?
No, I didn't say every man would attack me. I was just
It
saying.
seems like you say the majority of men would.
No, I never said that.
Didn't you
I
say
said
50% or something?
No, I didn't.
What was your percentage
My
for men?
percentage was actually 7. So.
Was it?
Yes.
I recall it was.
It was 5 to 7. You can fact check
Okay.
me.
At one point you said a lot. I think
Yeah,
you said a
it was
lot or it'd be high.
30% that was questionable that I said. That would make me uncomfortable.
Well, I'm going to
I
ask you
also
guys,
stand by
going
that.
around the table, I mean, do you guys think it's sexist?
Ginger donated $200. Yes, there's a point about the man versus bear situation. I'm one of those women that is a part of the statistic that's trying to be made. But at the end of the day, I'm choosing man. I would rather survive.
Which is totally rational, by the way.
Thank you, Ginger. I mean, I think the other component of this is if you pick a man, the outcome can be...
Given the choice between Chad and a grizzly bear, they're picking Chad. Can care less. But it is sexist by definition. Yes, Sammy. Correct.
It can be good. In other words, he could help you in some way. It could be neutral. He goes along his way, doesn't want to help you in the woods or whatever. Or it could be a negative experience. Whereas with the bear, it's going to be a neutral experience. They just leave you alone. Or it's going to be a negative experience. Attacks you, harms you, kills you. So that's another angle to look at this from. Final question.
No, there's the other one too. You forgot. It's possible that you land out there and you're pregnant and you have the child and the bear raises your child.
What the
That could
fuck?
happen, technically, right?
Okay.
You could be some Disney shit going down.
That's Mowgli right there.
Good. Some Winnie the Pooh shit. Last thing. If you could, given that I guess bears are not as dangerous as men, Do you think you would be more safe or less safe if you just replaced all men with bears? Starting with you, go ahead.
Less safe, I guess. I don't know. I feel like that's like
Snap
such
your
a funny
finger,
question.
all the men just transform into bears. And it's a random, the proportional distribution, so there's some black bears, some grizzlies, other types of, I don't know. Polar bears, those are bad.
Oh, yeah.
So you could be up in the club, fucking dancing and shit,
No.
boom, all bears.
I would be terrified.
At Trader Joe's, getting some fucking...
I would say, wait, sorry.
So-
I totally forgot the question. Say that again.
Would you
I'm sorry.
be more safe or less safe if the scenario was you just instantly replace all men with bears?
I would feel less safe.
Like, it's like all men are gone and it's literally just wild bears.
Yeah. So a bear just
Yeah,
takes all
well,
men's
the
place.
racist
So wherever the men
super
are.
chats.
So what, you could be driving.
It's like, you're a bear.
Right now, I'm a bear. I'm a bear.
Oh my
He's
god,
a
you're a
bear.
bear.
Nick's a bear.
Like, and you're asking me, would the world be less safe?
I suppose would you?
Would I be?
Would you be more safe or less safe if all men just instantly transformed into a...
In a primitive sense, we would be less safe.
Okay.
Jess Gerald donated $200. Of all the bears I've had within 20 feet of me, alone, in the backcountry of Alaska, I wish they had all been men.
Yeah, I've never encountered a bear, but I'd probably prefer them to be men.
It's not usually a fun experience.
So wait, you were saying, just restate your answer really quick on the...
I said in a primitive sense, we would be less safe.
Okay.
Grid One Motorsports donated $200.
In a
Men are
primitive
defenders.
sense? What is that? What does she mean in a primitive sense? It just seems like... Oh, come on. Fucking about.
Women. It is sad you lot have had never met one. Feminism has failed. Patriarchy values and protects women, and stands ready to help you return to sanity.
Okay.
Be better.
All right, thank you, Grid One, for that. Appreciate it. Okay, so you said you would be less safe if it was all bears.
Yes.
But you seem a little like there's another side of the answer to that.
I just think it's like I'm not gonna get into it. Like yes, logically, we would be less safe.
Okay.
I'll just say I'll go with the men instead of bear everywhere. I feel like, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, what?
I would pick the man over the bear every time.
Okay.
We'd be less safe.
If it was all bears?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, a stupid question, but yeah, we'd all be in danger.
Less safe.
Yeah, less safe.
Oh, what? You wanted to be in a room alone with a bear. Okay, all right. All right, so, okay, moving on to a different topic.
Can I ask just a very quick follow-up, if you don't mind? I was just wondering on this, how many of you here, just by a quick raise of hands, have seen the movie Bambi?
Bambi?
Yeah.
The
movie
deer?
Bambi. Yeah, how many people on the panel have seen the movie Bambi? Or any Disney movie where animals are represented as talking and, you know, they chat with people.
Does Shrek count?
Like most yeah, would it be most of you? There's something called anthropomorphizing, or anthropomorphizing animals, where basically you give them human-like traits. And what happened, there was this interesting phenomenon which happened back when Bambi came out. Tons and tons of feminists came out against deer hunting. They went crazy about it because, you know, there's a scene where the mom gets shot and Bambi's crying and, you know, blah, 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 blah. Do you think that there might be some of that going on here, that maybe you humanize these wild, insane animals a little bit, and that maybe media has added to that? I'm just curious.
Yeah, definitely.
Oh, so
likely.
the
I
man
think, like,
versus bear is because of like Winnie the Pooh, right? They're thinking like Winnie the Pooh.
I don't know, personally, I know I will try to attribute the best qualities in like animals. Like it's,
You
I
think
don't
you
know.
humanize them a little bit?
Oh, definitely. But in this,
Like if you
in
got a
this
dog,
whole,
do you treat your dog
yeah.
like a human? Are you
Huh?
like...
Oh yeah.
I mean, yeah.
I
I'm
talk to
really
my cat
asking,
like that
do
as
you
a
treat your dog
baby.
kinda like a human?
Like, I don't know. It's also, I think, just like, of course, they might attack you. They might be feral. They might be this. They might be that. But at the end of the day, like, it's an animal, and they don't like I don't know. We evolve differently, so we have different like standards for our species.
Okay, gotcha. I mean, the reason I'm curious about...
That's one way of wording it. I'd rather drink poison than be alone with a man, but I'm not sexist.
This is a real phenomenon. And it seems to affect females more than it does men. And I think the reason for that is probably a lot more men go out and deal with wild animals than women generally, right? I'm not saying always, but generally they do. Do you think maybe you're humanizing the bear a bit? You said definitely. Anybody else there think maybe you're humanizing the bear just a bit?
I totally see your point, and I think it's totally valid because people tend to anthropomorphize things that they like and tend to dehumanize things that they would be afraid of. And in the sense, not that it's logical for women to be afraid of men or for women to be afraid of all men, but if that's the mere instinct in the sense that it would make sense that maybe there's a tendency to humanize animals and dehumanize men. I'm not saying that's a good thing, and I'm sure as a man,
you, for instance, you personally, do you have a dog?
Mhm.
Do you humanize the dog?
Yeah.
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 And do you think maybe most women humanize a dog? Like, if one of you, if you were married and you couldn't afford to take the dog to a vet to have it put down because it was super sick, is the husband getting that job or you doing that job?
I don't want to think about that.
I mean, honestly, who's going to do that job in that situation? Is it going to be
Who's
you or is it
taking
going to be
Yeller
your
out
hubby?
back?
Who's putting down Fido?
Anyways, do you have anything else, Andrew? Andrew, do you have anything else?
Yeah, but
on
I mean,
this?
I think this is an important, pertinent point to this. Just kind of wrap it up. Who's doing it?
Can you
Are
guys
you,
give
are you going to
answers?
put down
Can you guys
Fido,
give
or
answers,
is?
just so we can...
Personally, I probably would, just because I'm more involved with animals.
Yeah, you would, right? But I wonder if she would. Would you do it, or would you have the hubby do it, or the significant other?
Who are you talking to?
You.
Like if I would have to like put down my own dog versus like my husband or my dad or something like that.
Yeah, would you prefer that they put it down on your
Yeah,
behalf?
because I wouldn't want to kill my dog because I humanize my dog. And I also wouldn't want to kill a living being. I don't even know if it really is that aspect. I think it would just kind of suck.
Okay.
The Bad News Bears donated $200. National Park Statistics places homicides in the wilderness since 2007 to 2023 at 38. Wildlife incidents as a cause of death is 9. So, perhaps the ladies are onto something.
Nope, they're still not onto anything because of contact. How many people go out to the wilderness, for instance, and have these encounters over and over and over again with these wild animals? And the ones that do are going to be the ones more prone to attack. Just like the ladies here, all of them are much more prone to be in contact with men over and over and over and over again. That's why their chances of being attacked.
Also, there's a good chance in that statistic that people are intentionally taken into the wilderness to be killed. Right? Just makes sense. If you're going to kill somebody, you want to take them away from other people, from civilizations. Yeah.
Men
or you take them there.
However, if they were around bears all day,
after the killing to get rid of them,
their chance of being attacked by bears would probably be a lot higher than by strange men. That's the point. The more bears you're around, the more wild, stranger bears that you're around, the more likely you're going to get attacked by one. The more wild, strange men that you're around, the more likely to be attacked by one. The question is, which one's more likely to attack you the more you're around it? It's going to be wild bears.
Also, people, we already established that, your risk of violent attack, assault, homicide, it's more likely to be from somebody who you know. So a couple could go camping in the woods and they would count it in this statistic. I don't think this homicide thing is factoring in, do you know the person, do you not know the person? This number could be even lower if it's from a total stranger. And even if it's total stranger versus encounters with wild animals, I would still say
But this is so simple. All of you guys can conduct a very simple experiment.
God,
right?
move
Walk
on
over to
already.
random men you don't know, reach over and pat them on the head and walk away and see what happens. Do the same thing with wild bears. Walk over, pat them on the head and walk away and see what happens. Which one do you think is going to be far more likely? Now, you might be able to pat a couple of wild bears on the head and walk away. You might be able to do that. But I can guarantee you that a lot more of those bears are going to attack you than men are. It's very simple. This is not complex in any way.
Final thing on bear thing, then we will move it on. I've got a couple other fun scenarios here, so does it change anything if it's gay man or bear?
Yes.
So you pick the man
Gay man,
as
because-
opposed
not
to...
even just because he'd help me, but because it's like we're in it together, like we're
Shopping
getting
with
out
you
of the
after.
situation. Not even that, but just I feel like the hike would be a lot funner. Like we're chit chatting, getting through the woods, finding our way back. It's a little adventure.
Okay. All right. Interesting. Anybody else? Do you guys change if it's gay man? Does that change anything? For those of you who said bear, does it change? Speak now, forever hold your peace. You said bear. I think you said man originally. Bear. Someone. Okay. What if it's a giant lesbian woman who's a professional MMA fighter? Does that change anything? Versus bear.
I'll take her.
You'll take the giant.
I'll go with her. I'll
Okay.
go with her.
How about, so what about a gay man who is a bear or a bear? Do you know that category of gay man? So there's like bears.
Yes.
Like they're kind of like a bit like hairy guys basically.
He's like a
big guy.
Right?
Not
Okay,
a
yeah.
dog.
Oh, no,
like a bigger
he's
guy.
He's like a big, strong
big,
gay man.
brawny, tend to be hairy, bearded gay man.
Chunkier guy.
Yeah, you know how there's like twinks. It's like a category of gay man. There's a Wikipedia article on this. Anyways, anything? Does that change it?
I'd love to get lost in the woods with
Okay.
bear.
What about a woman who you know is a serial killer?
See, if
versus
he's
random?
gay, it implies that it's not that they're not gonna get SA'd, right? But that doesn't necessarily mean that the gay man's not a serial killer. See, I don't know.
The man,
Just a random man. Yeah.
random man or woman who's a serial killer.
She's like a proven serial killer. Like, obviously, I'm not gonna.
Yeah.
What about a gay serial killer?
I think on the note of gay,
Versus
I would rather be in the woods with a gay man because gay men are perceived as less aggressive and they can't SA me. But I mean, I
They
like
can't or won't. Won't, most likely won't, right? Perceived as less aggressive. Perceived being the key term.
They physically can't. The point is that, like, I would
I'm pretty sure they can.
They could.
Pretty sure.
I don't
pretty
think
sure
they would be as
can do that.
motivated to whatever. In my opinion, I stereotype gay men as less aggressive than straight men. But that's
What about like survival instincts? Would you rather be with a gay man than a straight man? Do you think he would be
like in the
able to survive
woods
more?
Like statistically, he could easily be insane. So I don't know.
But here, let me ask you this. This is like dumb logic, right? But I'm just curious, right? For me, this is dumb logic, but I just want to know, wouldn't it also count against you? Because if you're saying a gay man has no sexual interest in you, then all he has to do is run faster than you and leave you for the bear, right? He doesn't really value you for anything. And wouldn't the straight man value you? Like he's like, I can't let this bear. It's beautiful, right?
Wait, so the straight man would like sacrifice his life, like do this heroic thing.
Oh, maybe.
So if you pick the gay man, he's like, I'm out of here.
He's like, I'm out.
He doesn't have to run fast. He just has to run faster than
Yeah,
you.
he just has to run faster than you. Good morning, William. Good to see you. Who's gonna run into players? Nothing new here.
Right?
He wouldn't give you any of his food
and so
either.
he doesn't value you like the straight man would, right? By your logic. So like, I mean, wouldn't that actually kind of be the bad choice?
Like maybe, like I don't know. I'm not thinking about it. It depends on if it was like in the matter of him protecting me, because like sure, there's a stereotype that straight men would be stronger than a gay man, and I'd be like, sure, maybe you're gonna protect me. I don't think it's about the sexual interest.
Yeah,
Like,
no, I
don't wanna
understand,
make it
but
sound
I'm
like
thinking of it differently as a value structure, right? So the perceived threat that you would have from a straight man is that the straight man's going to have some kind of sexual interest in you, and the homosexual man is not going to, because he's a homosexual man, right? That's why he's a safer bet. That's why you were saying he's safer, because he doesn't have any kind of like sexual interest towards you, essentially.
that, and that I like perceive them as less aggressive.
Right, because they don't
on
have
the basis
that
of their
interest, right?
sexuality. I don't know. I actually haven't thought about it that deeply.
Yeah, but probably it's because of that particular interest why you would see them as being less threatening. But if that's true, then wouldn't that actually mean that they valued you less? I guess I'm just wondering. You know what I mean? Like,
As a sexual
oh shit,
partner,
if they
but-
value you less, then they can make you bear food so that they get the hell out of there. You know?
Yeah,
I
if he was
just
an
thought it was
asshole,
kind
he
of-
could. Yeah.
Anyways, okay, just a few more things here, then I'll move it on. So, since we were bringing up the comparison of gay man versus lesbian woman, I did actually want to point out the statistics when it comes to domestic violence. So actually, what you find interesting is that in lesbian couples, if we're comparing lesbian to lesbian to gay men to lesbians to heterosexuals to gay men, the incidence rates of domestic violence are the highest among lesbian couples, and then you have heterosexual couples, and then it's actually lowest, interestingly enough, between gay men. So it's interesting when you put.
Yes, and we did. We fact checked that not long ago, so that is correct.
Two men in a relationship, you would think, well, the DV rates would be high. But actually, when you put two women in a relationship, that's when you see the highest incidence rate of domestic violence. And then between that, you have heterosexual relationships. And then the lowest rate of DV is in gay two-men relationships.
Where did you get those stats? I've never heard of
You
that
can
before.
you can look it up on Wikipedia. It's
Those
well
are
cited.
actually in line with the divorce rates as well.
FBI statistics, actually. You can find them direct from the FBI. They source all of these. There's actually in-depth studies which go into it even beyond the FBI statistics, but definitely the highest rates of domestics, as Brian is pointing out, are conducted by same-sex female couples, for sure. That's not, I mean, many times higher, in fact, interestingly enough.
Yeah. And then I'm trying to think what the... Oh, does it change anything if the bear is misogynistic? If the
So
bear's
the bear-
misogynist...
The bear can think like a human.
There's another thing with like girl fights, right? Like girl fights are pretty common. They tend to be less commonly reported, I think. Like and you know, dudes will, you know, kind of like glamorize it a bit, you know, whereas, you know, women are less likely, if they see two men fighting, you know, they're more likely to like actually try to, you know, break it up or, you know, intervene in some way.
Like a woman-hating misogynist. Okay, it's a joke one. And then I think the last one, does it change if you're menstruating? Because can't bears like...
Oh, like they would
Like,
smell
you
the
can,
blood
like,
and be
smell
like,
the
oh yeah, I'm gonna be more likely
Like,
to attack
is
you.
it- is it
But they're not carnivores though.
Bears?
Bears will, I think.
I thought they were omnivores.
Yeah, they are. They're omnivores. They
Oh,
eat
they're
meat.
omnivores.
plenty.
Yeah.
Well, isn't there something
Especially fish. They really like fish, and they like...
That's
I mean, they
why
don't care.
back in the day when we lived in tribes, the women would go away from the group when they were menstruating, so they wouldn't attract predators. Bears.
And they'll eat dead animals. They basically eat whatever they can get their hands on.
But isn't there something where, like, if a woman's menstruating, it could potentially be more dangerous for her to be in the vicinity, like...
It's a potentiality with all
Like
wild
sharks.
animals.
I've
But
heard
the
this-
links to that
sharks.
can't be ethically studied very well, as you might... you know, they can't really be ethically studied very well. You can't be like, well, we started last week, we got this wild bear, like, we hope for the best, right?
There you go. There you go. Jumping off of Grid 1's
You didn't ask about the ovulation, though. Would it be different if you were ovulating?
Oh.
Anyways.
Sorry.
No? She's thinking, it's just like, I don't know. Maybe.
Like, not to the bear. I don't think the bear could tell you're ovulating, but sometimes there's studies that show that men know when women are ovulating, and women behave differently around men when they're ovulating.
Right. Right. That's the key to the question.
All right, so actually this was related to one of Grid One's chats, and it's perhaps a bit of a segue from the bear thing here. Just going around the table, just so we get a good sense of this. Do you consider yourself a feminist? Starting with you, go ahead. Yeah.
Oh my god.
He says very few sharks in the woods. True that.
Yes.
Yes. No. Yes.
She's gone.
Anti-feminist.
Anti-feminist.
I'm also anti-feminist.
Anti-feminist. Andrew, what about you?
I'm a staunch patriarchist and against feminism in all of its forms.
All right. Okay. There you go. There you go. Okay. So, you know what? We'll come back to that conversation later. I do want to ask one or two dating-related things here. So I'm going to get into my pre-show notes. So, sorry, remind me how you pronounce your name. It's Yael.
Yael.
Yas Queen L.
Imagine like an apostrophe, like Y-A.
Yael.
Yeah.
Okay. In your pre-show notes, you said that you're not into hookup culture.
Yeah.
Okay. Have you ever like had an experience with it where you're like, I think that's how a lot of people, they like get into a situationship or they encounter like a fuckboy. So they delved a little bit into the hookup culture, but they're like, this is fucked up, I don't like it. So was that your experience?
No, I've just never wanted to.
Yeah.
I feel like it doesn't seem to be beneficial.
And you said that participating in hookup culture is gross / embarrassing to me, both for women and men.
Yeah.
Does anybody here disagree with that? Anybody here disagree with her saying that hookup culture, I don't think you're wrong, by the way, hookup culture is gross and embarrassing? Any takers on that? Any bites?
Yeah, actually, I do. I like her more as we go on. Like, initially, you know, she's a little mousy, but she's pretty intelligent, actually, I think. She's got good values.
Going once,
So
going twice, going 3 times. Okay. Killa of Serial said, let me pull that back up. Pick one. So, okay, guy number 1, 6'1", 100, makes 180K a year, fit, 8-inch PP, has a negative world outlook and bad attitude in general. Or 5'2", 30K a year, chubby, 4-inch PP, and has a positive outlook and oozes confidence and swagger. And why? So, guy number 1, guy number 2. Which do you pick? Starting with you.
Yikes, neither. That's
You gotta pick one. You gotta pick
that's
one.
horrendous.
You gotta pick one.
Man.
Yep.
I feel like I couldn't. They're
You
both
got
terrible.
you gotta pick
Terrible
one. I know.
options.
You gotta
pick a
one.
woman.
You gotta pick one.
Be a woman. I want that.
You go become a lesbian.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's
So,
my answer.
but you gotta pick one.
No,
Then.
I'm kidding. One.
Okay, that's fine.
I want to ask the person that asked this question, are you the number 2 guy? Because it kind of sounds like you're trying to get in this whole argument of like personality and whatever versus looks.
Why would that entail that would describe him because he was curious about your outlook? That sounds like you're projecting.
You're right. Maybe I'm projecting.
Here, let's just answer the question if we can.
Like number 2, I guess. I don't know.
Okay.
Is this just like, are we like just picking up like, I'm marrying this person?
Yeah, sure. Okay. This is like for life guy.
I'll go with 1.
Okay.
Sure.
I'd pick number 2.
All right. What about you?
I'd pick 1 and like check the fuck out of him.
All right.
So it was number 1 had a bigger PP, more money, and then number 2 had a nice personality. Is that what it is?
Essentially.
Number 1.
All right.
Whichever one would want to marry me.
Let's say both of them want to marry you.
Probably the first, so my children would be taller and we'd be more secure financially.
Okay. What about you?
Probably number 1. It's really hard for me to date people that are shorter than me.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Killa of Serial. Oh, you know what we'll do here? We'll do a fun segment. Nick, we'll do the Bumble segment. So what we're going to do is we're going to pull up Bumble.
Oh, that's
you each get 20.
That's special. Dr. Mordecai, good to see you.
Swipes. Okay. It's just a yes or no. We just show you the first picture. Did we do age ranges, Nick, or you pre-have them? Why don't you read them out and I'll just... Yeah, so I can tell the... Okay, so this is her, Yael. Did I say right? Okay, this is... She's, oh, put it big. Yeah. So just yes or no?
Sure. Oh, wait.
We just pass on everybody. Just...
Oh, right.
But your answer is, yeah, don't worry about that.
No. I don't know which one it is. No.
Really? Oh.
That's scary. That's scary. No.
What is
no. No. I like the dog, but no. No. These are all terrible pictures. No.
A little closer to the mic if you can.
Sorry. No. All right, there you go.
Give her 5 more. Let's see.
No.
Damn, you're
No, it's all
picky.
of
Wait,
it.
what about this guy?
No.
No?
No.
Is it the gun? Let's do
All of it.
Wait, actually, really quick, hold on. Okay, so we'll do you next, but you're very picky. Would you date a guy with who legally owned a firearm?
Sure.
I don't like the idea of it, but like maybe.
Like, would it be a deal breaker?
It's not a deal breaker, no.
Okay, but you don't like
I'm not
the
like a
idea.
fan, but
You don't like the idea of him owning one?
not really.
Okay, what about you?
I'm with that. I don't like the idea of it, but I don't... Like, it depends on the situation, but most likely
You just-
not. I
let's
feel
say
like
you
it
just meet the guy-
would
you
be
just
more of
meet
a
the
deal
guy, you like
breaker.
him.
Deal breaker then, kind of like...
Would be
yeah,
a deal breaker.
yeah.
Okay, what about you?
Yeah, I'd rather not. Unless it had to do with their job, I'd rather not.
Okay.
I don't really care.
Don't care.
I would say he would have to have a firearm to date.
Okay.
I would date him.
You would date him. I'm just curious, really quick. Those of you said no, really quick. Just why? Would you feel scared, or
I'm just
or do you? Are
terrified.
you also just against gun ownership in general? Did you say yes or no?
I said
sure. Okay.
I think it's more that, yeah. It's more against gun ownership.
Okay. What about you?
I'm just really scared of guns,
Scared of
so
guns?
I just don't like that.
I live in LA. I just don't think that there's a. I think maybe in a different place, a gun might make more sense. But
Isn't LA like super dangerous?
Yes. Yeah.
Wouldn't that be an ideal place to have own a gun?
I don't think so.
Okay. Even if it was, would you object to, like, let's say someone lived in like a really bad part of town? I don't know. What's a bad part of town in LA? Give me a couple
Like
places.
South Central.
Okay. And what's the demographic
South
there?
Central. Saw that in a movie once. A lot of pretty girls today. Yes. Oh, you like all of them? Yeah. Yeah, it's not a bad looking panel. I mean, yeah. As far as personalities, I don't know. It's a mixed bag. It usually is on this show, though.
There's lots of different kinds.
There's some like Latinos and like it's
Lots of different kinds of
black and okay. Would you object to, do you object to minority ownership of firearms?
No.
Because
If we're talking about preference for dating.
sure. Okay, I'm getting off track there. And you?
I said I didn't care.
Or wait, I was going around again on.
I don't think.
I think I was just
I'm
asking.
just who said no, yeah.
Oh, why? Oh no, you said you didn't care. So question for you through just really quick, then we'll get to back to the Bumble thing. Would how do I frame this? Let's say you're dating a guy, had kids, married to a guy. Home invasion. There's 3 men. They're breaking into the house. You prefer your husband. You guys need to fight to defend the home. In that scenario where there's 3 men trying to break into the house, it's just you, your husband, and your kids. Would you prefer that your husband attempt to dispatch the home intruders with his fists or with a firearm? Starting with you.
With a gun? That doesn't mean I want him to own one, though.
Okay, sure.
Well, since there would be probably no guns in the house, then I would have to be the fist.
No, but assume like he could own a gun in that scenario. What would you prefer in that scenario if a gun was available to him?
Just don't. I'm really terrified of those. Like, that's just like me personally. Like, those
Okay.
terrify me. It's like pointing at me, someone I know holding it. Like, I lose it. I get really scared.
So you would rather be invaded and killed than have him use a gun?
Well, we're going to be invaded either way, so that's point.
So you'd rather he not protect himself
What?
and you? Because you don't like guns?
Sadly, that would have happened.
Oh, wait. In the scenario. I was like, she's saying we're going to be invaded anyway, but she's talking about in the hypothetical, right? Okay.
Because I don't like guns, though, in the scenario that would unfortunately happen.
So you would rather die than him use a gun and kill than traitor, is what you're saying?
Sure.
Can I ask why you don't like guns?
For the same reason that she would stay in the forest with a bear and hide from a guy who was out in the wilderness who could assist her with escaping from the bear, because she has what's called an irrational fear. Interestingly enough, do you mind if I ask you just a quick question? The Washington Examiner, I caught an article the other day. They were, of course, using Pew Research for this. One of the things they were talking about is why people are anti-immigrant, and they said one of the reasons that they are is because of ignorance. It's because of ignorance of other cultures and things like this. And the more that they're exposed to immigrants, the less they are adverse to immigrants because they're no longer ignorant of these immigrants. Do you think that the same thing could be happening here with you and firearms?
Maybe.
Interesting that he would use that as an example, since he is like for more immigration restriction, right? Like, so yeah, I don't know, just interesting.
Personally, I never, like, where I grew up, like, this was never a topic, and like, I think it became a topic recently nationally in my country, but growing up, like, that was never a thing. Like, I'm just not used to that being even into the conversation. Like, I would never think that anybody I would meet would like own a gun, you know?
Okay.
Well, I mean, but do you believe that the reason that people are xenophobic is because they just haven't been exposed to enough immigrants, and that if they were exposed to more immigrants, they would become less xenophobic, as this data would allude?
I don't know. I think that's, honestly, for me, that's like just a tough question. I don't know if it's exposure. I don't know if you necessarily, like, when you say exposure, do you mean like meeting people, or do you mean just
meeting them, engaging with them, talking with them, working with them, things like that, right?
I think it's when you're like meeting a person you can see is just like another person, depending on, you know, like you're engaging with people from different cultural backgrounds and anything.
And how many guns have you held in your hand?
Me?
Yeah.
Oh, none. Jesus.
None. How many times have you been around guns?
It's been a few. I've met people that like parents have, like in the house. It's been like, oh, like look, that's like my dad's, and I was like, ugh. Like it's just like fear. Literally.
So if we were to
fear
track
of
the
it.
reasoning, then
It changed that mindset at the moment, though. I am terrified. Like it could be the most irrational of my fears, but it's definitely like a fear, and I know like in the.
But you would never tolerate xenophobia as being a rational fear. If you were to find out that there was data that says you would be less xenophobic if you expose yourself to more immigrants, wouldn't your advice to those people to be to expose yourself to more immigrants so you were less xenophobic?
Not really. I think you can research more on cultures instead of just like being physically like exposed and like in a one-to-one, face-to-face kind of scene. So, like learning.
So yeah, I tend to agree with that. I would let all the pretty girls come across the border. Pretty girls smell good. Every time I see a pretty girl, I just know she is smart and kind. Yes, right? That's how we-
Researching, reading, anything.
So you would
really.
tell people to read books about immigrants?
I mean, not just about
Okay.
immigrants, but it's just people. Like,
Yeah,
people
right. I
migrate,
get
people
it.
move
But-
all
but
over.
what the-
That's how
what
it
the data
happened. That's
suggested- Yeah, what the data suggested was that the more people are exposed to immigrants, the less xenophobic they were. That's what the data said, at least in this particular, and that stands to reason from your worldview, right? That would be the case. So wouldn't you recommend that people expose themselves to other cultures to be less xenophobic? Wouldn't you recommend that they do so if they were xenophobes?
yeah, if that helps them not be like that, I think that's a great solution.
Yeah, so then my recommendation to you is to expose yourself to more firearms so that you don't have this kind of irrational fear.
Maybe one day.
Your answer?
I forgot the question.
I think it was, in the scenario where there's 3 home intruders, you got kids, husband, you're in the home, would you prefer that your husband, try to dispatch the intruders just with self-defense, I guess your hands, or a firearm in that situation?
I mean, in my situation, there wouldn't be a firearm in the house, so we would probably
Let me rethink the question. Which, you're in a situation where you don't have a firearm versus you do have a firearm, which scenario would you be more likely and more able to defend yourself?
survive. Oh yeah, a firearm would help
Okay.
you survive.
So you would you, if that's the case, would you then prefer to be in that scenario with a firearm, if a firearm was available?
I mean, I don't. Not necessarily. Not necessarily, to be honest.
Okay, so
based on my worldview, not necessarily.
What's your worldview on this?
I mean, I believe in life after death, and I believe in I don't think that. I mean, truly, I do. So.
So she'd rather get killed in a home invasion than defend herself with a firearm? After death?
After death. Just expire today.
No, I don't. But I wouldn't recommend my husband to go shooting down the intruder. I wouldn't. I would be hiding in the bathroom and praying with him and my kids.
Praying.
Yeah, I would.
Do you think? I mean, Andrew might be more apt to
That's my
address this than
worldview.
you.
That's
than
my
me.
worldview.
But so you would rather pray than have a firearm to dispatch the home intruders?
Yeah.
So I mean, you guys wouldn't try any other way, even if we don't have a firearm, you would you and your husband wouldn't go down there and try to fight them off with knives or something.
I mean, it's a hypothetical situation, so it's hard to know with the adrenaline and the spur of the moment what would happen. But that's what I would do. I would hide. Yeah, I would hide.
Would you, let me ask you this. Do you have a mom and a dad who are still together by chance?
No.
No, okay. Do you have any relationship with your dad at all?
Yes.
Okay. When you were a little girl and he was around in your life, I don't know if he is or not. I didn't mean to frame it that way. When you were a little girl, you're staying with your dad. If a home intruder broke in, would you have the expectation that he went and hid?
Would I have the expectation that what? I missed the last.
Yeah, that your father went and hid.
Mm-hmm. What?
Would you expect that your father would go and hide? If somebody broke in? Yeah, do you think that that's good, that he would hide, or do you think that it would be better if he faced off with the intruder who was breaking into your space?
I mean, I'm not here to speak for other people. That's just what.
Yeah, no, I know. That's
what
why I'm
I
not
would
asking you
have
to. I'm just
done.
asking you to speak for you.
No. Hold on.
I mean,
Yeah, just-
I don't when my worldview. I don't think that preserving life at all stakes is always the best option.
Wait, so if given the option between your life or the home intruder's life, you would prefer the home intruders?
I'm not going to
survive?
fight somebody. I'm not going to.
What about for your kids?
Yeah, you have children.
Yeah, well, I'll protect them and help them, and whether that's running away or doing whatever we can. But that's.
But
all I'm
would you
gonna
not be
do.
willing to kill another individual if it means saving the life of your children?
I mean, if someone put a gun in my hand, sure, yeah, I would choose that. But I
Okay.
think that in this hypothetical situation, I don't have a gun, so it doesn't seem to really match up.
Are you and your husband afraid?
Yeah, but I mean,
afraid
you could change
against
the hypothetical
self-defense?
situation
Like
to
if
get
you
it
even
one,
had a
right?
knife or.
No, and this is just the way that I feel. It's not standing for you
All right.
know, yeah, that's just the way that I feel.
Okay. All right, we will get back. Actually, before we do that, I have Killa of Cereal.
I'd rather not
have you read
kill.
this one?
Killing's yucky. Yeah. Alright. I think we'll shift gears a little bit here. We spent a lot of time on man versus bear there, so let's do Jared, and then watching this earlier.
You know what I'm saying? I'm a huge advocate of
Yeah,
free
a couple things to
motherfucker.
respond to.
What's going on, guys? It's Jared Genesis here. So, I wanted to give a special shout out to Cyan Razorcell, the homie. He asked me to do a video on this. It wasn't specifically just on the broad topic of, therapy, my thoughts on therapy, but he showed me a YouTuber. His name is, I think, GG. Hold on. Give me a second. Healthy Gamer GG. I'm pretty sure that's it. And this guy is supposed to be some kind of like self-help dude. You know, these motherfuckers out here who claim to be therapists. Listen, dude. Okay, when it comes to therapy, you are your best therapist. You know.
So hopefully self-help dudes aren't out here claiming to be therapists, but maybe they are.
It's the same realm as like doctors. And it's funny because you have psychiatrists who I think a lot of them try to act like therapists the way they diagnose people. You know?
Yes, he does have a hat. Apparently there's a stigma around the hat, but he's wearing it nonetheless.
It's all connected, bro. It's all just corrupt. It is. It's corrupt to the core, man. And I'd be willing to bet therapists probably profit from drugs, you know, from drug money. That's just what I call pharmaceuticals. They're drugs. You know, it's no. So
therapists, psychologists don't prescribe drugs, right? That's psychiatry, because you just mentioned psychiatrists, right? And there's a reason for that. They may refer you to a psychiatrist, right, depending on the level of help you need. Those people definitely do profit off pushing drugs, right? But no, therapists do not.
Different than crack, cocaine, heroin, all that shit. The problem is this, man, like, as a society, we're just very lost. Loneliness is the #1 thing I think people struggle with these days. And, you know, it's funny because I don't really hate my trolls that much because I know they're all just lonely motherfuckers. I know they all just want attention. And they try to use me for clout so they can get attention from...
Right? He's got a good point there. Warning, naked-chested man on screen. Yes. He is topless.
Other people, because the truth is, they're just lonely motherfuckers. The world is full of lonely people. It is become an epidemic, bro. It's become an absolute epidemic. I don't care what anybody has to fucking tell me. It has, bro. I know you guys probably think I use social media as like an excuse for everything wrong with the world. But I mean, dude, think about it. Like, social media, it's divided us in so many ways. It's torn apart so many relationships, so many friendships. It is a terribly damning thing. And I just don't think humans were ready for it, dude. Like, I really don't. We really weren't even ready for the internet. You know, I understand how much it does help humanity in other ways, but it's just awful the way we treat each other, man. And, you know, the way people are just so goddamn judgmental, too. Like, not that I give a fuck what anyone thinks about me, but it's funny to me how people think, you know, these motherfuckers out here, bro. They think they're therapists themselves, and it's probably because of people like Healthy Gamer GG. Everyone thinks they're a goddamn therapist these days, and they'll try to diagnose me with all this kinds of stupid shit. It's like, bitch, you don't know me, dude. You don't know me outside of my videos. You can judge me whatever fucking way you want to, but the truth is, bro, you don't know fucking shit about me. You don't.
True that, but, you know, this is coming from the guy who goes around calling everybody narcissists, so...
I don't know shit about my family either, but, you know, I got these fucking nerds. These goddamn nerds. They think they know everything, and that's another reason why social media sucks. It's because it's turned people into goddamn narcissists. It has, man. You cannot deny that it has. There. Every motherfucker thinks they know everything these days because of fucking Google. You know, because they got a little diction.
Google it. I don't think it's a matter of thinking you know everything. It's a matter of actually having access to information, bro. I think he's completely nude apart from the hat and socks. We'll never know. You know, no, not the nerds. 8-man with no shirt and hat on. Hey, I'm not that fat. Therapist can get violent.
In their goddamn pocket. I'm telling you, bro, it's just, it's getting me a little bit worked up. I'm not gonna lie, bro. It's just because I deal with these know-it-all twats all the time. And so when I see these therapists on YouTube, it just reminds me of my trolls, you know? A lot of people on here who claim to be self-help probably don't even have a degree, which, I mean, to me, doesn't really mean shit.
Yeah, you don't have to have any type of degree to be like a life coach or a motivational speaker. You don't, all you need is charisma, man.
See what I mean? Anybody can be a self-help person. Anybody can be a therapist these days.
That's not the same as therapists, you know, and there are different types of therapists, right? They actually have different different techniques, different programming techniques that psychologists adhere to, right? Like, it's confusing a lot of things here. You're not fat at all. Oh no, yeah, I don't think so. I got a little bit of. Well, no, I'm not. I'm still right in my good weight range. I was just joking with Jill there. Thank you though.
I'm not saying that you shouldn't go to a therapist. Maybe there are some cases in which you should, but in 90% of cases, I would say people are going when they don't need to go. Okay, a lot of people don't think. They just don't realize what's right in front of them. You know what I'm saying? In terms of problems and why they're depressed, it's because motherfuckers be fake, bro. You know, Jim Carrey said it best. Depression is just your body saying, fuck you, I'm tired of playing this character. My trolls, they all play a fucking character. I know at their jobs, they're completely different people than when they're online. You know, they have this Jekyll Hyde thing.
Not me. Not me.
Completely myself.
He's the same character.
I don't choose to be anything that I'm not. You say whatever the fuck you want. I don't care. This is just me, bro. This is me 100%. And it's amazing to me how people just don't know how to be themselves anymore. And I think it has to go back to loneliness. It's just people want to grift. They want to put on a front just to try to be accepted by other people. That's what this shit fucking is. You know? A lot of my fucking trolls, and I hate to keep bringing these bitches up, but it's funny to me how they try to play tough guy, but you can tell they're just little puppy dogs, you know? They're just little fucking sensitive snowflakes that are alone and miserable. And, you know, they kiss ass, they simp, they act like complete bitches, but, you know, they have to, when it goes from Jekyll to Hyde, they have to be, you know, the mean guy to somebody to project and just their bullshit. It's like, motherfucker, you gotta get hold of yourself, bro. I mean, really, some of you guys probably have a split personality. I don't know, like Boogie and AVGN, how they have different personalities. I really believe these people may have split personality. I think they use those characters as a way to vent and to say what's really on their mind. It's actually pretty goddamn genius. And I've said this before. What they're doing, there's thought behind it. It's not just an entertainment thing. It's how they vent.
Actually, he's got a point there. It's not split personality. It's that people feel free and they feel liberated more often to speak what they're really thinking behind an avatar, you know, like in YouTube or whatever, or on social media where they have the medium having a screen between them and whoever it is they're addressing, right? But like you said, it's not something that most people are going to actually come out and say to a person's face in real life. And often they feel they can't say it, even in the context of having like an adult conversation with other people. Right? Because they're afraid of the reaction they're going to get. So instead, they use social media, they use YouTube, and just go and spew their shit. I got a degree in bullshit so that I could be me? Good. Mod says I'm a little meaner. He just contradicted himself. He just said he wasn't the same he was online. Now he's saying he's not different than he is online. That's gotta suck. I only have one emotion. I'm too terrifying to be seen? What? No. We were taught that there are three primary emotions. Do you guess what they are?
And it's how they cope. People like AVG, and I would deem them to be split personality. I would. You know what I'm saying? As crazy as that may sound, I believe a lot of people these days do have split personality disorder. I'm sorry I keep shaking the goddamn camera and get my arm off my cup.
There you go, playing therapist. Okay, so the three emotions we identify with are joy, sorrow, and fear. At least that's what I was taught.
Guys, I'm also, I'm trying to remember not to clear my throat right in front of the goddamn microphone. I do apologize about that, guys. I just don't realize I'm doing it because I do it so much.
He's going to apologize for clearing his throat, but he regularly farts and belches into the mic during recordings. It's weird.
And I also have acid reflux, which it causes fucking bullshit to be stuck in my throat. That's what she said. So I was going to mention this. Yeah, I wanted to apologize to you.
That's so funny. This is the 3 H's: horny, hungry, and hungover.
Guys, because I think I've been doing that a lot lately. I've been going back and watching my videos, and I'm like, oh, Jesus Christ, Jared. No wonder I'm losing subs. No, not really, but if I'm not careful, I probably will. But, you know, I try not to be too self-conscious. I just do me in life.
Actually,
you know?
Jared's coming up on subs. He's almost caught up to me now.
Fortunately, this world, obviously something isn't right where people feel like they can't do that anymore. You know, it's like they feel like they can't be themselves for one reason or another. That's the main reason why people have depression, guys. That's the main reason why you're not happy. It's because you just don't know how to be yourself. You don't know how to truly how to just be true to who you are. You know what I'm saying? Like, a lot of you guys, you just can't fucking do it. You don't need some clown on the internet to tell you, you know, oh, well, you know, you just need to go, do some yoga. You know what I'm saying? I'm a huge advocate of yoga, but I'm just saying yoga's not going to fix all your fucking problems, dude. Eating healthy is not going to fix all your fucking problems.
No,
Exercise.
but, you know, it's all about making better choices in your life, you know, better habits, better lifestyle. Like, they're all, you know, components to a better lifestyle, right?
It's not going to fix all your problems. See what I'm saying? Speaking to a therapist about, you know, troubling things that happen to you in your life. Like, I didn't touch on this yet, but I've done that. I mean, I've actually seen numerous people, mostly because my parents wanted me to. But I mean, I guess I was open to it. You know, it wasn't like I was completely against it. I
So did you do it when you were a kid? Because that's my question. Because I went to a lot of therapy as a kid, but it's a whole different ballgame as an adult. Like, I am so grateful to have been in therapy, like, over the last couple of years, you know, and I really want to get back into it. Actually, I think it's hugely beneficial. So,
in my mind, like, this is stupid. You know, it's just me talking to a stranger who doesn't know anything about me. You know, private things that, I mean, really shouldn't even
well, yeah,
be shared.
ideally you establish a rapport with that person, and then you go back, and then after you've, like, they get to know you, then you tell them those private, intimate, detailed things. Like, you usually wouldn't do that right off the bat.
It's your own business. These therapists, dude, like, I don't mean to be judgmental or whatever, but I'm sure there's some sickos out there, guys. You got to understand that. There are sick people in the field of therapy, because I think it gives them a sense of power. A power of telling people what to do, and they could purposely give you bad information. You guys got to remember, we live in a sick world, man. I've talked to people who I can tell were a little bit sketchy, bro. You know what I'm saying? People who maybe don't like you and just want you to be like them, you know, narcissists. Going back to narcissism, I bet there's a ton of narcissists in the field of therapy. I bet you there are a fucking ton, because narcissists love to tell people what to fucking do, bro. That's what they do, bro. It's what my trolls do.
Most most therapists don't actually give a whole lot of advice. Sometimes they'll, you know, give a little bit, but usually they're trying to get you to identify what you already know. Like, about, oh, how does something make you feel? How do you think you should respond to that? You know, and then they might guide you here and there if you're, like, going off the rails, but Dr. Mordecai says, I'm a doctor, yes. I read that in your YouTube handle. After they get to know me, they hate me. I know some sketchy people there called artists. Nice.
Every fucking day, I get to hear it from them. You need to do this. You need to do that. It's like, bitch, you don't know what's right for me in my own life. I'm not you, motherfucker. You know, you want to go talk to somebody, buy a parrot, bro. I mean, your bird will love you. It won't give a fuck if you talk to it every second of the day. You can
Actually, my therapist out on the farm when I was out there, when talking about this person who ghosted me, who made me feel a certain type of way, this morning, as it were, you know, when I talked to my therapist about it, months and months before this ever happened, they were like, keep your guard up, don't get too emotionally attached, because you will get hurt. And I didn't take it seriously.
You can cut some out. Just buy a fucking parrot, dude. Stop pestering humans. So there you guys go. I guess there's my advice. There's my therapy for my douchebag trolls. Just buy a fucking animal. Even though a lot of them probably shouldn't even have pets, but you buy one of those, like, plastic birds that, like, speaks back to you or whatever. Playback Polly. I think that's what it's called. Oh man, I'm telling you, this is just a fucking strange world out there. And I don't know what else to say, dude. Like, these motherfuckers on YouTube, bro. You gotta be careful, man. Like, with YouTube in general, there's very sketchy people on here. And don't get me wrong, I'm sure there's some legit people who have...
Yeah, at the time I was like, no way. There's that person's not going to get to me. It's not going to happen. No way. But they were 100% right. The funny farm? Yes, it was a funny farm. You slip between the cracks with a nice hat. Not that nice. I had a better fedora, but I lost it a while ago.
Legit advice to give. But I think a lot of them are just, you know, they're clout chasing, bro. Like, that's what this guy, this healthy GG gamer, whatever stupid name is. He's a clout chaser, bro. People like this know there's a lot of hurting people in the world, and they just work in a grift for fucking clout, for money, and for attention. That's just how I feel about people like that, bro. I didn't really look into him that much, but yeah, just looking at his profile, dude. I mean, not profile, but just looking at his YouTube channel, you know, his videos, I can tell this guy's a cornball. He's got like 2 million fucking views or 2 million subs. It's like, dude, when you're that high on the totem pole, you're without a doubt some kind of cornball motherfucker, at least in my opinion. Minus the 1%, you know. People like Report of the Week, you know, actual real ninjas out there, you know what I'm saying. Love that guy, Report of the Week. What's that saying? He says, my day is ruined. I forgot, bro. I'm fucking tired, guys. You have to forgive me. I did not have the coffee. Although I did. I had a cup of coffee and a cup of tea today. Apparently that wasn't enough. Oh well. So there you guys go. That's my video for today. I decided, you know what, dude? I think I'm going to start Clock Tower tomorrow. You guys remember Clock Tower? Holy shit, bro.
I haven't played that game in a minute.
JonTron. It was a fucking Halloween episode. And it just kind of got me in the mood to play a horror game. So I think I'm just going to go ahead and cheat. Even though I said I wasn't going to game, I think I'm going to start Clock Tower, the original one for Super Nintendo. Because I didn't touch that one that much, and it's on that emulator site I'm using, that emu browser.com. Very legit site. I've been having a ton of fun on that, playing N64 games. A lot of fucking fun. So anyways, guys, thanks for watching. Peace.
Mocktails and more, straight to your door.
Ads.
Red, white, or rosé, away.
Oh no, I know where we were.
To the guy number 2, if he owns a firearm. I think that's a no. Okay. We'll get back to the Bumble thing. Nick, if you could pull that back up, and we have. Did you change the age range? Oh, hold on one second.
Draco.
Trump don't even know that guy with the hat. Christian Carpenter had to had to turn my screen off, looking at a pudgy naked chest hard on me old eyes this early in the morning. Yeah, he's a little. He's funny though. It's kind of grudgingly like Jared. It's over for you lames. You'll have to get a job once Trump is back in office. Okay. Who are you referring to? Ape Smuts. Okay. I got a job.
This call donated $200. I would rather have a gun to protect myself than...
Actually, when I got my... When I started work... When I was out of work, it was during the end of the Obama administration. I got the unemployment extension. So you can thank Obama for that. And then I didn't work for a couple of years, and I started working again the year Trump got elected. Specifically because I was trying to move out of the U.S.
My family not having a gun leaves you vulnerable to being deleted, plus there could be 8 guys you never know also too.
Rather have a gun. Yeah. Andrew, do you know the statistics on like home invasions per year?
I don't know the statistics on home invasions specifically every year off the top of my head. I can pull them up.
I think on this one? All right, this one's for you. Go ahead. So just a yes or no.
A yes or no?
Yeah.
I can't really see his face. I would say maybe yes. He doesn't like. Sure. No. No. Yes. No. 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 Yes. They love to put their dog on here. No. 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 Yes. Interesting with the harmonica.
Harmonica?
What is it? Oh, okay, whatever.
She called it fucking harmonica. That's a lot of no's, ain't it? Trump didn't even know that girl. Oh yeah, Williams Coward. I think he'll challenge you on that. You two want to come debate this morning?
Like, yes, just for shits and gigs. I kind of like the style with the accordion.
That's 20. Okay. And then we're going to you. What was your age range? 21 to 26. Okay, go ahead, Nick. Wait. Do you have it? Oh, you're just adjusting it. Got it.
No. No. Maybe. Sure. No, even though the cat's adorable. No. 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 What is that creature? Not the guy. I don't know what he was holding. That was a very strange. I don't know what that was. No. No. Didn't we see him already? No. Everybody's so far from the camera. Like, no. No. No, I don't. No. 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 Which one is it?
Is it no to all of them?
Which chick is it? Is it the one in the one with the dark hair in the right corner?
The middle one, maybe, but I didn't know.
Yeah.
No. 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 Oh.
Did you say yes to anybody?
I think maybe one person.
No, I think you did a maybe to the 3.
Yeah, to the 3 guys. I was like, I don't
what
know
we're
who
gonna
they
do.
are.
Nick, if there's a girl who says no to everyone we show, they get another 10. Go ahead.
Oh, I keep going?
Yeah, another 10.
Oh, no. 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 Yeah.
Wait, hold on. Just one thing. Don't make any sidebar comments about, like, just let the sole person answer. Because if other girls, oh, he's cute, it's going to influence her.
Biased
Just
opinion.
everybody silent while anybody answers. Go ahead.
He has a nice side profile, so like, sure.
Okay, there you go.
No.
You still get what, 5 more?
So there's going to be some peer pressure there if they're commenting too. That's interesting, right? It's like they don't want them until they find out the other girl wants them, and then they're like, oh, maybe I'll check that one out. Too early in the morning. Yeah, I think we'll take off anyway. Maybe another time. When Trump says that he is smart, I just have to believe him.
No. 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 No.
Okay. Pretty picky there. Pretty picky. There was one yes. And then what's your age range for men you would date?
I have a boyfriend.
Oh, is she not doing this one? You sure you don't want to do it?
I don't wanna
That's
do
fine. Okay. Your age range?
21 to 30.
21 to 30. Okay. We will do that. Guys, go to twitch.tv/whatever jobs, follow Jobs Prime sub, and if you want,
I think
get a
they
super
had 2 or
chat.
3 of them that were in relationships, which is weird because I thought they were all split.
In via Streamlabs, streamlabs.com/whatever. TTS is 200. Go ahead, Nick.
Just for context, that guy, you just may or may not have heard the vehicle. He's been mad for a long time. He's got an attitude every day. Put a pic of a white albino and she'll say yes. A white albino. White times 2.
No. 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 Well, that one could have been a maybe. No.
She's going fast.
No. No.
A little louder, please.
No. Maybe? Yeah? No. 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 Yeah? Oh.
Oh,
Wait, this one's a yeah.
The previous guy and this guy.
No, the previous guy, no. His muscles were too big, but this one's yeah.
Okay. This guy's yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so that was,
His
I think that was 2
muscles are
yeses?
too
Yeah, I got
big. So that's something you hear a lot. Yep, lots of no's.
One of them was a maybe, but then turned into a yes. So 2 yeses. Okay, 10. So that's 10%, I guess. 10%. Okay. Next, age range.
I think it's a 25 to 40.
What was it?
25 to 40.
25 to 40. Okay. Nick, I'm gonna get up for a sec, but when you can just switch it back to here, get their answers, and then yeah, you can bring it.
He's cute, maybe. No. 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 Maybe. Hard to tell there. No. 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 Maybe. I don't know which one. No. Again, I don't know which one. Maybe.
Impressive. No. He's cute, yes. No. No. Okay.
Yeah.
So what is that on average? Like 2 out of 10? I can't keep track with these chicks, but she's thinking about dick. Yeah, I know, right? It's a perfect example of why we shouldn't join them.
No.
No face.
No. Yes. No. No. Yes. No. Yes. No. 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 Maybe? No. No. Yes. No. No. Maybe? No. No.
Choose your profile pics carefully. That's all their judgment's based on just the first snapshot they see, which I guess I don't know, that's the way it works in this game, I guess. So I don't know, maybe that's not actually the way they all surf dating apps, but I've heard that's primarily this goes. That's why the swipe option exists.
Yes.
Like generally, that's the most common, way that they're used. Pick me, yeah. She got her man harem going on.
No. 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 No.
Oh, he's a firefighter.
No. No. Yeah. No. 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 No.
That was one yes?
Yeah, one yes.
Race car dude, right?
No, I don't want to do it.
Race car dude.
No,
right?
I have Frankie already. Everyone's really picky, I guess, but I mean, I assume. Wait, I didn't even really hear everyone's. I wasn't here for everyone's, but I heard a lot of no's. That's all.
I have an amazing boyfriend, so I have nothing to worry about.
What made you guys say no to a lot of them? I guess we can go one by one.
A lot of them, I feel like the pictures, I don't know if it's just me, but I feel like the pictures if they're wearing glasses, you can't see their face. If they're like looking away, if there's other people, you don't know which one is them. I also feel like I can't just judge based on the picture. I feel like I want to know more about the people. I don't
Pictures.
have dating apps.
See, she's got some depth. She's like, I can't just judge based on the pictures. So, I mean, that's a reasonable answer.
I was going mostly, obviously, just like based off looks, and I agree, like, when there's more than one person in the photo, or they have like sunglasses on or whatever, there's like a couple words like immediately no. And then the rest of them, it's like, sure, if I think that they are attractive, and like you can swipe and then see once you talk to them whether or not they're cool, but I don't know.
Yeah, kind of the same thing. A lot of the photos were just like, I cannot, who are you? Like, it was really far. So it's like, when you're looking at those, just like one photo out of like a dating profile, it's like hard. Like, I feel like that's why there's like a whole other, the end of the profile. I'm like, okay, let me see more. Out of just the first photo.
See, they were going pretty fast. See, I think to like, basically, like, if you were having, like, you would think you would take like an extra second to look at the picture, right? If that were the case, but they're like, nah, I can't see it very well, so no. I don't know. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I think they're kind of backpedaling now.
That's what the staff is?
To make
is it
it
only like one picture you
seem
show,
like
or?
it wasn't a shallow, fuck him, which it is. They're like, oh, he
Or
can't
is-
take a good selfie, fuck him. That's the,
They're like multiple. Oh, okay. That was just like their best photos?
Yeah,
Oh,
the cover,
okay.
yeah.
Okay.
All right, guys. Sorry about that. I had to step away for a sec. Guys, go to twitch.tv/whatever, drops a follow, and a prime
No.
sub. If you have one, twitch.tv/whatever, drops a follow, and a prime sub. And I think there was this one other thing we had to shout really quick. Yo, guys, thank you for the follows over there on Twitch. The streaming quality is better on Twitch, and we want you guys to go over there and follow, because we're going to be doing some additional streams over there. Maddie's going to be doing off-day streams over there. I know I've been saying that for a while, but we will get it started soon. It is in the works. I have one other hold on, let me do Stifler first. Okay, ask everyone to rate their looks on a scale of 1 to 10, starting with you. Go ahead.
I'd say like a 6.5 or a 7. We're rating our own looks?
Yeah.
7?
I'll go with like a 6.5 to a 7. Like, I can do better than right now.
I'd say a useful 4.5. 10.
This is hard because like I think these girls are 10, so it's like hard for me to like say like I wanted to say like a 6, 7.
But
Wait.
they said 6'7", so
So what do you?
like a 6'7".
Okay.
My family would say I'm a 10, but I'm probably a 5.
I think I'm like a 6. I could be a 7 if I lost some weight, lose the braces.
Okay, I give myself a 5. Andrew, what about you?
Oh, did I miss
You're
them?
a 4.
Did I miss them
All
rating
right.
themselves? Okay, we've got to go back for that.
Scale of 1 to 10, starting with you. Go ahead.
I'd say like a 6.5 or a 7.
Damn, that's a low score for self. No, I'd say she's better than a 7. I like pictures. So maybe I should join a dating app and make my profile pic a bear. That'd be a good troll. A picture of a person is a real picture of a person. Hopefully. It's not really a person. Yeah. She said 6.5 or 7. I would give her an 8 or a 9, I think. She's pretty good looking.
We're rating our own looks?
Yeah.
Oh. 7?
I'll go with like a 6.5 to a 7. Like I can do better than right now.
They don't want to seem vain, you know.
I'd say
Because a girl can't give herself a 10, right? Like, if you said that, you would just sound like a bitch.
It's full of 4.5. 10.
This is hard because like I think these girls are 10, so it's like hard for me to like say like I wanted to say like a 6'7", but
Wait.
they said 6'7", so.
See, she thinks she's
So what
a
do you-
6 or a 7, but the other girls are a 10. Yeah, I don't know. It's hard though, because she's, yeah, see, sometimes the thickness throws it off. It's hard to say, like, maybe if you, like, I'm not saying she's not pretty the way she is, but, you know, some women carry it better than others.
6'7".
Okay.
My family would say I'm a 10, but I'm probably a 5.
I think I'm like a 6. I could be a 7 if I lost some weight, lose the braces.
Okay, I give myself a 5. Andrew, what about you?
You're a 4.
4. All right. There you
Andrew
have it. So we do
thinks
have
himself
110.
really low at a 4. Peace and respect, Richard Madsen. Good to see you.
At the table.
So just to clarify, I don't know who was here earlier, but I'll say it at the end. What time is it? Come on, I'm trying to get the time here. 4:40. Yeah, all right, yeah. For a little bit longer.
10 out of 10.
I'm not the only 10 though. I will say. I'm not the only 10 though. I will say that.
What do you mean? You think the...
Like I definitely see other 10s at the table.
Which ones?
Well,
No,
honestly,
she gave
everyone.
herself a 10.
But like if I'm gonna say some 10s that like really like pop, like you two.
She's
gorgeous.
like everyone, but yeah, you two. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay.
10 is like perfect. Yeah, like I drop like no flaws like whatsoever. Well, not necessarily no flaws.
Nobody
but, like,
has no flaws. That's an unrealistic standard.
like you're show stopping. That's what I think a 10 is. Like
Exactly.
everybody has flaws, no matter what.
Yeah, you're well, and
Yeah,
saying nobody, everyone has
exactly.
some sort of flaws. Wouldn't that be that no one is a 10 because no one's perfect?
Exactly, but we're going off a 1 to 10 scale, just hypothetically, where people are 10s. You know.
How long have you been single? 1.5 years? Is it like by choice or just like what's going on there?
Yeah, I was actually like really contemplating getting in a relationship with that other person that I was seeing. But ultimately I just decided that I'm just not in the right place to be getting in a relationship. Like I'm about to graduate, about to move down to San Diego.
Is there anything about you that you would change physically?
Physically, yeah.
Like what?
I hate my wrists. My wrists are so little.
You'd change your wrists?
Yeah, I want thicker wrists, guys.
Well, I'll tell you.
I'm 5'4".
Oh, you're fine.
She wants bigger wrists. Is that what she's saying? Like, I don't know. That's kind of strange. Wrists?
You say you're like more on the petite side.
Yeah, I am.
Wasn't that just proportional?
That's
to
the name of the
size?
chapter. 10,
I mean,
but she wants bigger wrists.
Really, but I want bigger wrists. I don't know.
Why do you want bigger wrists?
I don't know. I feel like everyone else at the table has like good wrists.
Is that like
Mine
the
are,
first thing you look at?
No, you're beautiful, girl.
Just
You're
like
beautiful.
you get all,
You're so many tiny wrists. Yeah, you're good.
your wrists are fucking terrible.
No, like it's literally so hard to find bracelets.
What the fuck? Okay, so but you just be like eyeballing people's wrists. Like, what about mine?
Yeah, good wrists.
Good wrists. I got small wrists. I'm in the same boat.
Oh, really? You're also insecure about your wrists?
Oh yeah, I got gamer hands. I mean, it's weird because my dad he's got like big, strong, meaty man hands, and I got these like dainty piano finger.
Oh my god.
hands. It kind of sucks.
No, but women actually usually like little dainty hands.
What the?
I've heard. I like masculine.
I've had no complaints.
Yeah, there's something about them long fingers.
I've had no complaints, but just not even from like a dating perspective. I would just in general prefer to have big, strong man hands. Bro, you guys see me? You guys probably haven't seen this, but I struggle to open champagne bottles. There, I said it. It was a struggle last. No, actually, I'm 2 out of 3, right, Nick? In recent history, I was able to, we do have champagne pops. Why? She's swarming. I struggled to open one of the champagne bottles. Gerald, Dane, I don't know if you're still watching, he pops 2, and I struggled on one of them. So anyways, okay, so you would change your wrists. Okay. So you're 10?
Yeah.
Okay.
10 with imperfect wrists.
Does anybody have to disagree, or why the hesitation?
I think the fact that she thinks she's a 10 would make her one. Like, she's confident and she likes the way that she is. There's nothing.
She hates her wrists. Well, that brings you down to a 9 at least.
Like, if it makes her a 10 just because she thinks she's a 10, then does it make me an attack helicopter because I think I'm an attack helicopter?
Oh, fuck off.
Well, I'm just saying.
And this guy comes in. I have thick wrists, I think. Well, it's all right. You're a dude. Dudes are supposed to have kind of... See, my wrists are a little slim, but I don't... Whatever. I wouldn't change it.
It doesn't really... Like, people can tell her what they think she is, but if she's thinking that she's a 10, like, and she still has insecurities, people who... It depends on if you quantify 10 out of 10 as flawless. People who are really pretty can still... Or really attractive can still have flaws.
You have flaws. So why'd you rate yourself a 7?
Because I don't think that I'm perfect.
Okay, so...
See, I think I'm probably like a 6.5 to a 7. There, by that logic, I could probably make it with either of those 2 checks right there, right?
And you would consider the 10 rating to be perfection?
For myself.
Because it's based upon my self-rating.
But who are you comparing your self-rating to? That's not something you would come up with arbitrarily, right? You would have to basically observe the world around you, and then you would be comparing yourself to other human beings, right?
Yeah,
so
like...
if that's true, then if your self-rating is a 7, then you're saying, when I compare myself objectively to other women, clearly there's women who I think are much prettier than I am, who I would put in that 8, 9, or 10 scale, right? Is she one of them?
I think that she's beautiful.
Yeah, I know, but that's not what I asked you, though.
Are you asking me to rate my female peers?
No. I mean, but that's how you get your self-rating, is because you're looking at your female peers, and you're saying that some of them are prettier than you, right?
Right. Or less pretty. You love them all, Doctor.
Yeah, I was thinking more like the standard, like, my perceived standard of, like, female beauty.
Yeah, right. Your perceived standard of female beauty puts you at a 7. So would you say that the woman who puts herself at a 10 has a higher or lower standard than that? Because clearly you can compare yourself to other women so that you can come up with a standard, right?
I don't really know what you're saying. I just think the whole point is, like, that everybody can come up with their own standard.
I'm saying, how do you know if you're a 7 absent you comparing yourself to other women? You wouldn't know that, right?
Sure, like, if I had never seen a woman before and you asked me to rate how beautiful I thought I was, I don't know.
Yeah, there's no way for you to compare
There's no way.
anything, so,
the whole point
so
of a rating scale is that it's supposed to be comparative, sure.
Right, yeah, exactly. So if you're comparing yourself to the woman who considers herself a 10, right, are you saying that she's a 10 or not?
Even if I lowered my score for the teeth a little bit, 5.5 to 6 maybe, Only one of my siblings did not have heavy, thick bones. Even Mom had to wear men's length watch bands. Jeez. Has been told that all the girls love me. I bet they do, Doctor. You're a charmer.
I just think that I don't see the point in questioning her rating of herself.
Yeah, I know. I'm not asking you if she should question her rating of herself. I'm saying that if you're objective, and clearly you're looking at this as an objective metric, then do you agree with that self-assessment or disagree with that self-assessment? That's what I'm asking.
I'm not really sure.
Okay.
I got a question. Do you think you'll be better looking in 10 years as compared to how you look now? So you're 21. Will you be better looking at 31 or how you look now at 21?
Yeah, 31 I would.
You'll look older. Many people. That's what Trump says, yeah.
Assume I'd be better looking.
You'll be better looking. Yeah. Well, how can you possibly be a 10 now if you'll be better looking in 10 years?
Well, that's like Miss USA, for example. Like you asked, like I'm not comparing myself to her at all. I'm not saying my beauty's to that point, right? But that's like saying, oh, she was beautiful at 21. At 31, she can't be just as beautiful. Well, she can. Or would you disagree that a model couldn't do that? I'm not comparing myself to such models.
Let me change the question. All else being equal, do you think you'll be more physically attractive in 10 years?
Yes, just because there's certain things that I do want to alter about myself that I think that would make me a little bit more attractive.
Such as?
For example, I want to be like a lot more toned. Like I want like really toned abs.
Okay.
Back, all that. So I feel like that would make me more attractive.
So
but that
she's
isn't
working out over a 10-year period. You're still going to age. I mean, so I don't know. It's so subjective to be like, okay, because some dudes are going to be attracted to older women, and some are going to be attracted to younger women. So you'd be equally as attractive, right? Like, but you're gonna be going for like a different demographic of guys, right? You're not gonna have your youth.
Assuming you had that,
from what I deem myself as.
assuming you had that today, and then assuming you had that in 10 years, would you be more attractive today or in 10 years?
I would say today, just because your skin will probably deteriorate a little bit, like your elasticity and all that.
Okay. So you think by virtue of you working out over the course of the next 10 years, you will be more attractive than
delusional women everywhere
than you are now?
It's delusional people everywhere. Sandy, hey Sandy, are you trying to imply that 30 is old? Because that is bullshit. Total bullshit. No, I'm not saying that 30 is old. Well, it's old to me, but you know, I'm over 30. It's a plague. No, I'm just saying that objectively she will be older in 10 years. So like, so if you're basing like your beauty standards on certain things like that, you know, a lot of women, like as they get older, they want to look younger, right? Like, but that's not necessarily what's going to be like attractive to most people. Like, yeah, I don't know if that makes any sense. Because believe it or not, there's actually a lot of men who won't go for women who look too young, right? Because of the perception that they're, yeah, like into kitties and stuff like that. Utter bullshit. No, he's asking her. His question to her is whether or not she thinks she'll be more attractive in 10 years. So I was just saying that it depends on who she's trying to attract. Like, but from her own standards, because she called herself a 10, but she doesn't know who she's comparing herself to. Like, and men want dumb young chicks they can train. See, I think there are definitely some dudes who want that, but I don't think that's the majority of men. Do you think she will live for 10 more years? I don't know. She could die right after the show is over. I don't know.
Currently aren't as toned as you would like currently.
Yeah, because I would also, like, after I'm done with college, I'm drinking less, smoking less, you know, your skin looks better, body looks better, you look healthier.
So you plan to stop drinking and smoking, and I don't know if there's drug use?
No drug use, but not necessarily stopping drinking, I just don't want to be involved with that whole, like, drinking lifestyle.
Okay, what about 20 years' time?
20 years' time, I view myself as less attractive.
This is drinking lifestyle? That's called alcoholism.
Compared to 21, but I would hope to view myself as more beautiful, though. Like, I find myself more beauty. Like, I find more beauty within myself is what I'm trying to say.
Okay, I'll actually open up to the whole panel. Do you think you'll be more physically attractive in 10 years? All else being equal. Will you be more attractive?
People stop drinking after college, LOL. Yeah. I want a rich lady to love me. Yeah, sugar mama.
In 10 years as compared to how you are now, starting with you.
That'd be 29. Maybe, yeah.
You'll be more physically attractive in 10 years. All else being equal. So this isn't like, okay, well, not saying for you, but like let's say a woman was obese at 19, and then she's making the comparison, well, if I'm a fitness model at 29, then yes, I would be more attractive at 29. It's assuming, you know, you're doing sort of all the things if you possessed all the traits, you know, so you're in reasonable physical shape, you know, reasonable physical shape, you know how to, some people will argue, well, in 10 years time, I'll know how to do my makeup better. In 10 years time, I'll know how to dress better. Those sorts of things. So assuming you knew all of those things to now, or your skills in makeup or dress stayed the same.
Right.
Still 10 years later?
Yeah, I think so.
What about you? So 32 versus 22?
I think that, like, you're your hottest in your 20s. So, like, on a physical basis. So I would say physically, I would be less attractive in 10 years. Mm-hmm. But, like you said, I think there's more time for you to work on yourself physically or mentally. And so, in that sense, maybe, like, my value as a whole person would go up. But in terms of, like, my physical value, I think my physical looks maybe would go down a little bit.
I think I'll go with, like, looking better in 10 years. I think there's always, like, room of improvement either way in how I think of myself. So maybe in 10 years I would, like...
You look better?
Maybe look better, but just, like, not even care, just feel better no matter how I look. Like, my mindset will change, and that probably will make me think that I look better than I do now.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't think I'll be more physically attractive in 10 years, but I do think I'll be more wise, more able to take on challenges.
Not really the question, but okay.
My answer is no.
So you're currently 32. Would you say that you're better looking now at 32 than you were at 22?
No.
So better looking at 22?
Yeah.
Okay. You answered the question.
In 10 years, physically, you will be less attractive. And I know this because at 21, I probably would have given myself like an 8 or a 9, you know, being like 125 pounds, all that stuff. And then now at 31, almost, definitely less attractive.
Well, but see, in your case, you have the opportunity. You can lose that weight. That'll make you more attractive, right? And confidence has a lot to do with it too. You can gain confidence, and confidence will make you more attractive. Richard, William, welcome back. Richard says, personally, I used to look for women that were smarter and prettier and had muscular legs. Dumb people annoy me. Yes, exactly. William, I think Jill was trying to challenge you to a debate. He said it was too early, though. He wants to debate you later. You said you're a coward. Just wanted to let you know. The forum's open over here. You guys could come on and scrap.
And then at 40, I think you're
At 41, yeah, I'd probably. I mean,
Wait, are you
like?
Did you say you were 30?
So I'm 30, but my birthday's on Sunday.
Oh, you're about to turn. Okay,
yeah.
I see.
But kind of like they were saying, you have more time.
Had to
gain
stir the shit pot. Sorry.
wisdom, and I don't mean it like just like, you know, the thing sleeping around is what people say. That's not really what it's about. It's just like getting wisdom and more time to have more experiences and be smarter. So in that way, you do add value as a woman. But looks-wise, your looks decrease with age.
Okay, what about you?
Less attractive.
All right, what about you?
I think I'll be equally attractive. I think I'm in a peak mid-20s.
Well, so you're 20. Yes. So are you saying you'll be more attractive at 30 than you are now at 20?
No, I think I'll be like equally.
Equally?
Yeah.
Okay, what about at 40?
Less attractive.
Less attractive. Sure. Okay. You'll be equally attractive. All right. Interesting questions. Andrew, any quick thoughts?
Yeah, if you don't mind if I follow up, do you think that you'll be more or less fertile in 10 years?
She likes that one. Starting with you.
More or less.
Starting with you, go ahead. It's a good question, Andrew.
Is that not like statistically, like as you're younger, you're more?
Yeah.
Right. So.
We're just asking you if you think that you'll be more or less fertile in 10 years.
At 29, probably less.
Okay.
I'll be less fertile.
Okay.
Yeah.
Probably less if I maybe take better care of myself.
I don't actually know if that's necessarily true, but isn't there like women peak? Women peak at different points in their lives, right? Actually, I'd like to look at that. But I mean, yeah, generally speaking, the younger you are, the more fertile you are. But I think there are like peaks during like hormonal changes or something like that. Would William Freeman be capable of a debate? You could prove this not. Yeah, I should check that out after this and fact check myself. Write that one down. No, it's fine. Actually, I don't think it's relevant, but I know where Andrew's going with this.
Less.
Now, understanding that you'll be less fertile, from an evolutionary standpoint, why do you think that it is that men are attracted to younger women, if you had to guess?
As a Christian, why do you care about the evolutionary standpoint?
Because they're more fertile, and so it would be evolutionary advantageous for them.
Because they're more fertile, so it would be evolutionarily advantageous. Would you all agree that that's true?
Yeah.
Yeah. So then, if that is true, and that men are attracted to younger women because it would be evolutionarily advantageous to them because those women are more fertile, and so therefore, you could basically have more children, which is kind of the ultimate goal from an evolutionary standpoint, is to have more children. And now knowing this, and knowing that your logic walked you to that, are you going to be more or less attractive in 10 years?
I think it was only one or two girls who said more. Who said more attractive in 10 years? I forgot.
There was 3.
Or 3?
I did.
It was you? Oh, you said more attractive, more attractive, more attractive.
So now knowing that, do you still think that you'll be more attractive in 10 years?
I was just meaning it from like my personal. I wasn't really thinking about it from how someone else would perceive me. So
Well, that's strange. How do you come up with your assessment of how attractive you are if it's not through the eyes of other people?
I think I was mainly saying.
Yeah, right. Because when you say attractive, you're not talking about like fucking yourself, right? Like the idea is that you think you can attract other people, partners, essentially. Yeah. Okay.
I'm thinking about it through the eyes of men. I was just thinking
women,
about
you think about how attractive you are through the eyes of women, but why do you think that women try to make themselves look younger?
I'm sorry. I'm confused how this relates particularly. I just meant that.
Well, because again, the point is to point out what could be potentially delusion, right? So to answer your question, there are plenty of women out there who think that they're going to be much better looking in 10 years than they are in whatever their current status is, let's say 20. It's just kind of like a general run-of-the-mill age. But yet understand that their fertility is going to greatly reduce in that 10 years, and that men would be attractive from an evolutionary standpoint, which is your guys' worldview, the feminist worldview anyway. I don't understand how you reconcile that, because
the evolutionary standpoint is the feminist worldview. What the fuck is he talking about? All right, but no, I mean, in like modern day, I think there's a lot more dudes who would be attracted to a less fertile woman. like not as many people want to have kids. It works with Prism for some reason out here. Yeah, it's just StreamYard. I guess drains a lot more data for some reason. So yeah, Prism just lets me do whatever. For the most part, I've had some issues with it too, but it's been working pretty well for me lately.
You're basically saying that, hey, we're going to be less fertile, therefore aren't men going to be less attracted to you? Isn't that the point?
Well, I'm 19, so I think when I look at like other women that I find really beautiful, most of them tend to be in their like mid 20s. So if I'm mid to late 20s, so if I'm thinking
Well, in
about
10 years, you're 29, you're going to be less fertile than you are at 20, right?
I'm 19, yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
So then wouldn't it stand to reason that if fertility is the thing that's being
19?
selected
She
for,
must be the
which
youngest one on the panel. Yeah, see, that's it. 19. Can't do it. Can't do it. Just because it's legal doesn't mean it's right. Evolution and beauty. Where we at? 459. Okay. I'm gonna have to call it. Alright, well, thanks for hanging out with me. Just to clarify, because I did say earlier in the stream, no, my friend didn't call me a creepy stalker. That's me, doing the thing. They did have some choice words for me, so, we're not friends anymore, I guess, or whatever. So, kind of hurt my feelings, but whatever, I guess I'll get over it, But it made me feel a certain type of way, and so thank you for hanging out with me this morning. It's been fun. I got to keep my mind off of things and, just roll around in the dirt a little bit, so that's always fun. So much love to everyone. Be kind, be well, and stay trusty, and I will see y'all later on. It's going to be a very long night tomorrow, and I'll probably do a couple of streams, so all right, have a great day. See you later.